Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
They did not hear that last line of German.
Du bist ein Leckerbissen. Du bist ein Schlauberger.
I'm not a tasty treat.
Schlauberger.
I hear commies, hang on.
I'm from West Berlin.
Doesn't matter!
Welcome.
I'm an American, I don't care. I don't differentiate.
Welcome to Storm, Earth, and Fire, to our Warcraft RPG. I am William.
It's cool, the Berlin Wall fell the day I was born.
Like,
literally.
I am the Dungeon Master for our Warcraft RPG campaign. And I am joined by all of these players, starting immediately upon my left.
I'm John. I'm playing Garrick, an orc shaman who is currently drowning.
And then directly further upon my left.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Shiana. She is a rogue and she hates everything and everyone.
And the furthest upon my left without becoming my right.
Hey, I'm Austin and I'm playing a troll.
And then immediately upon the converse upon my right.
Immediately? That would be me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm Stan. I'm playing Josh, the Goblin Tinker.
Directly beyond that upon my right.
Hey, I'm Zach, and I'm playing Leaf Ironmender, the half-human priest of the Holy Light, / tinker a little bit, too.
And then the furthest upon my right without thusly becoming my left.
Hey, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Brick, Earth Whisperer, Torin, Rune Master.
Alright.
I have the last name.
And when last we left our heroes, the world had flooded.
It happens.
Oh, well.
Did someone forget to turn the faucet off?
Apparently.
Do we roll up new characters?
I thought you were going to squirt water out of your mouth.
I was getting in character.
I was going to duck and cover.
So, the group of you, having discussed with members in Orgrimmar about receiving reinforcements for Razor Hill, had learned that the request had been roundly denied, unfortunately. And returning to Razor Hill to deliver the news to the Overlord Garthok, who issued... I like how you're going to check to make sure the mics are on.
Because I just thought of it, like a second ago I thought of it, it's like, wait. Hang on.
Yes, I unmuted the mics.
Typically someone in chat will tell us when we're being dumb.
Yeah, but I can't see the chat, is a problem.
I
have a phone.
I thought he did that very stealthy.
Just lean out.
I went to deliver the news to Overlord Garthok, who was, in a word, incensed. And shortly after, were struck by a little bit of geographical distress, shall we say.
That's a way to describe it.
That is certainly the most euphemistic way to say it.
A number of earthquakes followed by the reveal of a massive tidal wave encroaching upon the shore.
The area became underwater.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
And after an amount of attempts to bring in all civilians that were possible within the bunker shelter that is stationed in the center of Razor Hill, the tidal wave hit, as the majority of the group was kept under a magical shield conjured by the enchanter of Razor Hill, one Grimlark Rotspine, while one of you our shaman, Garrick, was swept away with the tide. We will resume with Garrick shortly, but first we will start with the rest of you who are under the shield.
Under the shield?
As all of you stand watching torrents of water flow by for what seems like eternity. Everything.
There's only one torrent of Garrick.
There is.
A very short torrent.
There is.
No, it's pretty big.
Darkness.
At least 2
all around
gigs.
you.
At least 2 gigs.
There is darkness all around you, but the faint light of this shimmering shield allows you to just barely see those of you who are within this shield together and the flow of water around the outside as you all stand and observe this tidal wave that seems to stretch on forever. The group of you stand with Garrick and with Grimlark and Cedar Keever.
I'm not there.
I'm not talking to you. You're not in this scene.
You said that they stood with Garrick.
No.
No, sorry.
Yeah, you did say Garrick.
Garthok.
If you have anything to say at this moment.
I just picture Shiana. I know him.
I think the situation is a little bit beyond words right now.
Yeah. I was going to clap Grimlock on the back, and then I thought, maybe that's not a good idea right now. You might lose concentration and we all smoke.
Then you all
So is
join
he
me.
holding up, like, is this a spell that he's...
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
the dwarf, the undead dwarf, has his hand sort of outstretched, and you can see a torrent of arcane energy that is sort of extending out of his hand and forming a dome shield around the
He's
group.
casting Stay Dry as a 20th level caster.
Torrent. Word of the day, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Torrent with every meta magic feat. I mean, not torrent.
Alright.
Keep dry with every meta magic feat.
Keep dry with every meta magic feat.
Extend spell, heighten spell, expand spell, maximize spell. So, as each of you stare at this wall of water that surrounds you, and as Grimlark is exerting a lot of effort to maintain this barrier, Garthok kind of looks at the group of you. When this water abates, if this water abates before we are swept away, we need to focus on finding the injured, retrieving them, bringing them back to safety. And then we will deal with the dead. And then we will deal with the missing.
Roll dice, see which one of those sections Garrick falls under.
I think that would be your rolls.
He kind of like stops
Pluses on swimming,
and just kind of
although it's probably irrelevant.
watches one of the horde
I
banners
do,
float
but
by.
I also have a -3.
Probably from off
Because
of the
of
Great
my
Hall,
armor,
just
yeah.
like this like
Armor check penalties are doubled for swim checks.
this
I have a
like,
-6
lumbering
because of my armor.
piece of wood with the banner of the horde attached to it that just kind of floats by the barrier, probably having detached off the Great Hall.
Okay.
My armor got blown off by the water, in which case then I got a +4.
Is there any way we could move this barrier? We may want, if we can, we should get to the bunkers.
That's a lot of effort I'm exerting right now.
This is not
Alright.
this is not that
Okay.
Mass Effect 2 level.
But you do. I'm going to go ahead and roll me a spot check.
Alright. Let's spot things. Let's not spot things.
Nope. I got lower than you did.
Are you sure?
Yes, I got a 1.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
2. And
We rolled the same number,
do we roll 2s?
but you got lower than me.
I got a -1 spot because I'm just that special.
17.
19.
I gotta do something about my spirit.
22.
Thankfully, I've got a +6 spot.
So the
So Garrick comes back as an undead shaman.
three of you that rolled higher than 8.
Yep, that's a sentence.
Yeah, the three of you that rolled higher than 8.
Rubbing it in.
As you look around, you see a bit of light begin to pierce through. And as you look, it's directly ahead of you. And unable to tell the velocity at which this water is rushing,
Giant anglerfish.
a few seconds pass, and suddenly it's gone.
It's a giant hagfish.
The entire tidal wave, in a few seconds, just peels away. And you are left looking at waterlogged and destroyed, but still existing Razor Hill. The Great Hall looks as if it's caved under pressure, is likely holding a lot of water. The bunker has withstood. They have sealed all entrances and all windows and all doors, so it has seemed to withstand the pressure of the waves, which means that those inside are likely still safe. The inn is flooded but still standing, and a number of other buildings are in various states of either crushed under waves, barely standing and waterlogged, or sealed off.
Meanwhile, 5 miles away, Garrick's in a ditch with an anvil on top of him.
But as the water clears away, Grimlark lets his hand down, and the shield dissipates. Right! He kind of looks around at the catastrophe that you're all standing in the middle of.
Which way did the tidal wave sweep over us?
East to west.
Which way were the Quillbores?
Southwest.
Southwest? So that means that people may have gotten dragged over to the Quillbores.
Or further.
If further, that'd be nice because the Quillbores are gone, but if not, then we need to go Mount
I mean,
West
you've
and
seen how
fast.
big those thorns are. I might be impaled right now.
Well, I guess we split up and head
And
west and just see what we run into.
Did you just suggest splitting up?
No, I mean to within, make a,
so Garthok kind of
20
looks
feet
around.
from each other and, see
All
what
right.
we see.
Let's get to work, shall we? So we're going to cut away from you guys for a minute. Garrick,
Yep.
your mind, your thoughts swim in darkness as everything...
Not just darkness.
Your body does too.
Everything is loud. Your thoughts, you hear the voices of the elements, the chattering, the screaming. But over the noise, a handful of voices peer through, whispering words too fast to comprehend. You just hear essences of help, of pleading, of words of request, of help me, of he's coming, of everything is wrong, of desperation. As you hear wind and water, earth and fire, all voices mingling together as they express their distress, their desperation, their pleas to you for help. And you hear the elements rage around you. And then everything goes quiet. The elements, as if sensing something, retreat from you. As if fleeing from something. And then there's a burning sensation as the nerves on your limbs are all firing at once, and you feel pain. You feel fire as everything burns. And as your eyes slowly but surely focus, you find yourself in a cave, coughing up water, as an individual, thin of frame and of shoulders, with long brown hair that is loose and tied, and a small beard that just barely extends off of the chin, as he wears these dark robes of black feathers and purple lining, and a crown of black metal that sort of forms I'm trying to think of the exact term for like the collar of a very large cape that sort of frames around the back of your head. Yeah, kind of a mantle of dark metal around the back of his head as he holds one hand to his chest, and a beam of green energy extends from his torso down his other hand, which is proceeding to funnel into you. This human appears to be siphoning his own life essence into you to maintain you. As you hear him muttering something under his breath as he begins to sweat as you slowly come to consciousness.
Coughing out water. In common. Can I just beat that? Who are you?
He hears you speak, and his hand goes away for a second as he almost jumps back, as he kind of almost falls over as he looks as you reach consciousness. He kind of extends a hand almost defensively. Easy. I am not your enemy. And he's speaking Orcish. It's fluent Orcish, but it sounds halting. It's a language that he knows well, but doesn't seem to have the call to use a lot, so he's having to find the words as he's speaking.
Can I tell what he was doing?
That'd be in Knowledge Arcana.
9.
Not quite.
No. Stand up. How much smaller than me is he?
He's a human, so a good 2 or 3 feet in all directions.
And we took the dimension scale and just went. So stand up to my full height and look down at him. In common again. Who are you?
My name is Saharan. I fished you out of the waters.
Where am I?
Well, you're within the cave that I've been using as home for some time now.
Just sort of like looking at him. What does he look? Using the stereotypes that I've come to understand of what magic users typically look like, does he look like an arcanist or a divinist?
He looks like a warlock.
Looks like a warlock. All right, cool. Does he just glancing at it? Are there any particular signifier? Do I know any warlock organizations?
You do not, especially because even among the Horde, warlock organizations are very secretive. They like to keep to themselves. They don't like to show off that they're there.
Yeah.
But he wears sort of the very dark black robes with purple lining and the black feathers that indicate someone who works with darker streams of magic.
I sort of level a suspicious look at him because human warlock.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Kalimdor, unless I've been gone quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure the water was really fast.
It just laying on the Eastern Kingdoms. You have my thanks. I am Garrick, Cloud Speaker.
Saharan Silverstream.
Look around. What is it?
It's a very dark cave. It's very dimly lit with small purplish braziers, and you can see there's a bedroll in one of the corners where there's also a pile of books and some rations that have been set to the side. And you're on what looks to be a table that he basically set you on to proceed to presumably attempt to save your life.
Does he look like he's strong enough to have picked me up onto the table?
No.
So, probably had a pet. So yeah, just getting up off the table, standing up. More specifically, not in your cave, but in the grand scheme of things, where am I?
You are on the western end of the northern end of the Barrens.
That's a while away.
It's a while away.
The floodwaters took me far.
Well, actually, you're nearby Camp Tarajo, if you know the Tauren lands.
I do. You have no... I would assume you have no normal cause to aid one such as me. Why did you save me?
Because I couldn't let a life be destroyed by this random happenstance. I saw you rush by, and I did what I could to save you. Let's just say I live here mostly by myself, save for the small amount of interaction that I have with the outside world. But I saw someone in need and tried my best to save you.
You are a strange warlock.
Do you not think that a warlock would like to practice his arts in secret?
Yes, there's a better reason to let me die.
I am not an evil man, no matter what you might think of my race.
Not your race, your profession. I say, indicating my green skin.
Yes, I understand the history that the orcs have with demonic magic, but like any other tool, the Fel is evil and good are more a product of the use of the magic than the magic itself.
I have not the time to discuss philosophy with you.
Yes, indeed.
I will sort of see if I can sense the spirits.
The spirits are quiet here. You imagine a place that sees as much activity of fell magic as a warlock's home might. The spirits tend to avoid.
Do I have how much of my stuff was lost in the time away? Actually, I look around for my totem because it wasn't strapped to me when I got hit.
It's in one of the corners of the room along with your bag.
Okay, I'll go over and take
And
up
your weapon.
Yeah, I'll go up and grab those.
Well, I was actually here. There is a purpose that I could use your help with, actually. There are a group of, shall we say, less than savory individuals whose activities I've been tracking recently when this cataclysm hit. They call themselves the Twilight's Hammer.
What do I know of the Twilight's Hammer?
Roll me a history.
I, the player, know stuff, but Garrick. I don't have a history. So that's gonna be just general intelligence check, I guess?
Yep.
That's gonna be 4.
You remember the Twilight's Hammer was the name of one of the clans of the Old Horde.
Yeah. That is an old name. Do I remember that it's no longer...
Most clans no longer exist.
Yeah,
the only clan that really holds a strong clan identity left is the War Song.
Yeah. That is an old name.
Yes, the Twilight's Hammer are not as you might remember them. They're less of a clan of orcs now and more cult of warlocks, shamans, warriors, people who worship dark powers.
Do I remember that it was led by ogres?
Originally, yes. The original leaders of the Twilight's Hammer were ogres.
Yeah. Ogre clan, not orc.
Sorry. I don't know who leads them now, but I've been following their activities in this region. And then, as I was getting onto something, this cataclysm hit, and I was forced to retreat to my home. But I think perhaps we should speak more of that after we get you in contact with your horde again, shall we?
In repayment of the debt I owe you, I will assist you. But yes, it would be best to reconnect with my allies.
Well, fortunately, I do a little bit of trade every now and then with Camp Tarajo. I actually, my home overlooks the valley. It shouldn't be too long to get down there. Let's go. He sort of starts to walk his way out of the cave.
I will shake off some water out of my hair. Like sort of strain the water out of my hair, tie it back up, and then follow after.
And after a few minutes of walking, he sort of stops outside the mouth of the cave and just kind of looks aghast at what he's looking at down below. Oh, no. As you look over his shoulder, you see a small village.
As I look over him.
Yeah. you see a small village down at the base of what appears to be a very large hill outcropping that this cave is centered in, on fire.
Huh! That's not a typical response to a flood.
I mean, it is nowadays, both because we have gas lines and electricity.
I mean, hey, you solve a fire by putting water on it, so you solve the water by putting fire on it. That's how it works, right?
Exactly, yes.
Absolutely.
Can I tell what has caused these fires?
No, but you need to get down there and do what you can. Take my Fellstalker. I'll make some preparations. And he kind of issues...
He said, take my Fellstalker.
He kind of issues a whistle, and this large dog-like fiend kind of rounds outside the cave. It paws on these large clawed pads with this line of tentacles that kind of spreads off of the back of its head. It has no eyes that you can tell. But it does have a pair of tentacles that sort of reach up over the shoulders and express these like large four-lipped mouths that kind of extend outwards, almost like the petals of a flower, as it looks up at you with its eyeless face, this sort of this mask of bone and fangs. As it looks up at you, kind of shakes itself.
No, my sword's out.
And turns and presents its side to you.
Like to ride?
Yeah.
How far away is the village?
Long enough that if you walk, it's going to take several hours.
I will gingerly get on the Fellstalker. My kingdom for a wolf.
Sharia, take him to, I literally said Camp Tarajo. And the Fellstalker just begins to bolt at a impressive speed for a creature that is not nearly as large as most dire wolves. But it carries your weight.
I'm like having to hold my feet up.
It carries your weight pretty effectively. And over the course of the next probably half hour, you are carried down this massive hill into the valley of Camp Tarajo, and the beast stops just outside the perimeter of the town.
I will, maintaining momentum from it moving, sort of throw myself off and continue running towards the village.
Yeah, it stops and appears to wait for you to return to it as you enter the village.
I'm looking around to see what's happening.
You walk among the buildings and all you see is flames and bodies. It's a scene out of the Third War, almost, as you see all of these log cabins and teepees that the Tauren had erected as this small forward camp just outside of Mulgore are aflame, ablaze. Bodies litter the ground, sliced open, gutted, perforated with arrows.
I would like to ask the spirits of wind and fire to stop burning to put out the fires that are burning the village.
Go ahead and roll me a spirit check.
20.
20. These flames aren't caused by the spirits. This isn't a natural fire. This is a fire that someone set with torches.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking them to put it out. Because they didn't set it, so.
But at the same time, it's not really something that they had a hand in to start, so also not to stop. And they kind of are very busy dealing with their own reeling environs from this cataclysm. You have no idea how long it's been, but you notice that the land isn't completely soaked anymore, so it's likely been enough time for a lot of the water to absorb into the ground that isn't laying somewhere.
Well then, in that case, I'm going to look around for survivors.
Go ahead and roll me a search check.
15.
As you're looking around for survivors, you hear this shifting of lumber and a groan as a Tauren kind of shifts underneath a pile of rubble.
Hello there.
And you see a older looking Tauren. His fur is kind of mottled in gray as he kind of crawls under these piles of timber and sort of shifts a couple off of him.
I will approach and start helping unbury him. Hold, old one. Hold, old one. I will help.
And you sort of lift a couple of piles of timber, and he just kind of reaches up weakly with a hand and grabs what is on your tunic and just kind of pulls you down to his level. You must flee.
I will not flee without you so long as there is life here. And I will continue trying to get him out.
He kind of, like, as you try, he pulls you again. You do not understand. They came wearing alliance banners, but they butchered us like demons. And they were led by the man in black, armor carved of obsidian, and a blade like flame. And you hear heavy footfalls approaching from around the corner. And he gets this look of panic. Quickly! And he kind of grabs you and pulls you under the rubble with him. And kind of covers you with his own body at that point. And you're sort of left to watch from underneath this Tauren as you see a pair of black plated boots. The front ends of the boot articulated like talons with a rear talon at the back that almost seem to dig into the dirt as it walks. That kind of slowly marches into the opening of the center of this town. And as you sort of shift ever so faintly to avoid attention and get a better view, you just see this obsidian black plate mail that sort of slowly marches. The face, the helmet of this plate mail is sort of articulated into the shape of a dragon's skull, with the maw open, but nothing to be seen of a face, just a black void where a face ought to be. This long purple cape that kind of flows off the shoulders of this armor that is left in complete tatters almost. It looks like it's been worn through 100 battles. It's just tattered and frayed on the ends. And as he sort of marches slowly through the center of this burning village, you see a glint of a black sword with sort of a flame pattern to it. The blade kind of branches in several places that look almost like the artistic depiction of fire. And as he walks, he sort of stands in the middle and observes this environment and looks around and steps over to one of the other piles of rubble and shifts some of the rubble aside and picks up what seems to be a struggling Tauren and just stares at them for a moment. And that Tauren, "You won't get away with this," he mutters. And the man in the armor offers no response and just rams the blade through the pit of his stomach.
So, 2 questions. 1, human size?
Vaguely?
Lifted a Tauren.
Yeah.
1 hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just rams the blade through his stomach, and just the Tauren's expression, "Ah!" And there's a moment as the life drains from him, and he kind of shoves the Tauren off of his blade, and in the moment, the blade lights up in flames as the blood burns away, almost boiling off of it, and then he swings it and the fire extinguishes.
How big is that sword?
It's probably a great sword.
I want that sword.
Don't get yourself killed.
I'm not getting myself
Just
killed.
trying to get
I'm
a cool sword.
Just making that as a statement to the universe that I want that sword.
Idle comment.
Yeah.
And he kind of turns and slowly proceeds to march out of the village into the darkness.
I recognize anything about him?
No.
Nothing stands out other than human knight, black armor, big sword, able to lift a Tauren with one arm.
Seems like an ally to me.
Maybe to you.
No. No.
And as you
I know
let
you're
loose,
flame carver, but no.
as you let out the breath that you didn't realize you had been holding, as this individual disappears, you realize that the Tauren that had been shielding you with his body has expired.
I will pull both myself and the Tauren out. And continue to look around. Pull him actually out of the debris. Put him down. Fold arms over him. And then continue to look for survivors.
You find no other survivors.
Right. Does it seem like the knight has left?
Yeah, he seems to have departed.
No? All right. I'm going to start putting out fires and gathering bodies.
And it'll take you a while, but
Yep.
after about 20 minutes of doing so, Saharan arrives with another Fellstalker that he is riding, and a large humanoid demon-looking thing. Its skin is sort of onyx black as it wears this heavy plate armor with sort of spikes adorned across it and this massive great axe at its side that it sort of shoulders and immediately goes to work shoving lumber aside and putting fires out with alongside you.
I look at it and look at him and I point at it. That's why people don't trust warlocks.
He's actively helping put out fires.
He's also the kind of demon that has raided and pillaged and burnt down homes and families.
I understand that, but that is not his task right now.
I continue to move things. Yeah, I'm gonna perform funeral rites for the Tauren.
All right.
Which I assume I know because A, I speak Tarahi, B, I'm a shaman, and C, I've helped build Tauren settlements.
Yeah, you go through funeral rites, which is mostly cremation.
Yeah.
As you prepare all of the bodies and set them on pyres, and return their ashes to the Earth Mother,
Yep.
as they should.
I need to get to Razor Hill. I'll say that.
The nearest settlement that I believe would have been able to stand up to that tidal wave would be Crossroads.
This wasn't a tidal wave. A man in black armor, strong enough to lift a Tauren with one hand and leading a regiment of supposed Alliance forces, did this.
That matches the description of one of the men I've been following.
I doubt very much it was actually Alliance forces. Judging based on the strength of that man.
No, I don't either, but word will spread, and tensions between the Horde and the Alliance will be heightened anew.
As they often are.
I suspect some Tauren runners were left alive to flee and tell of the Alliance that attacked. Things are going to get a lot more violent here soon.
Come, we must go.
I will have to do my own work in secret. I may have forged a careful trust with the people of Camp Tarajo, but I don't think that Crossroads would be very accepting of my kind.
Let me rephrase then. I must go.
Yes, I can grant you a temporary mount that will get you to Crossroads and no further, so you won't have to deal with a demon following you.
That would be good.
And he kind of weaves this dark purple energy amidst his hands as it flows around him, and he extends his hand upward, and from the ground arises in this patch of hellfire this burning black horse with flames shooting out from its eyes and nostrils and trailing off of its feet. And it sort of issues this echoing, reverberating whinny that kind of echoes through the night.
Again, a wolf. I say as I mount up the horse.
I'm afraid I don't know of any wolf demons.
There's a reason for that. And I will ride.
Alright. And you ride this fell steed.
Yep. To Crossroads.
Yep, to Crossroads, and that's gonna take. You're already several days ahead of the current timeline, so we're gonna cut away.
Skip.
We're gonna rewind back to the rest of you, as you've all spent the past several hours gathering the dead that have been washed all over the valley of Duratar, and preparing them. You've gathered them all in the center of Razor Hill for a massive funeral pyre that is being organized and put together.
What's the name of that guy, by the way?
Saharan. S-A-H. Blah. Yeah.
A-H-A-R-I-N?
Yeah.
Like the Sahara, but
Saharan.
in.
Alright.
And you all gather the bodies and tend to the wounded as you bring them back to where several of the handful of shamans that are still around have begun tending to wounds. There's a Tauran druid and the troll priestess that you had met still around, and all three of them are tending to the wounds of those around, as Garthok is sort of leading the search effort for any further wounded or injured that have been washed away.
I'm also picking up little trinkets I might see.
Roll me a
Looting the town.
Very discreetly.
roll me a search check.
Wealth redistribution tactics, really.
I mean, they're not using it.
They're not using it now. 17.
You pick up some scrap metal here and there, some wood, some steel that's been scattered everywhere, and you manage to get probably about 50 silver worth of materials.
Materials, okay. Yay.
So, judging by the initial explorations we did, I'm guessing the wave went through the Quillbore areas as well.
Yeah, this tidal wave seems to have crashed over most of Duratar and well past Duratar over the South Fury River into the Barrens. Which means that it covered what would normally take about a week of on wolfback travel in however long that tidal wave went for.
Nice.
Because normally it would take about a week to get from Razor Hill to Crossroads, for instance, which is in the center of the Barrens. So yeah, it'd be about 34 hours of travel in 8-hour shifts. It'd be 8, 16, 24, 30. So it'd be about 4 or 5 days of travel.
I mean, if we did a forced march, we could almost half that.
Yeah, but you'd be exhausted.
Which isn't a good state to be in.
Especially,
No,
you would be exhausting your mounts as well.
That's the
which
purpose of
worse.
forced marches, is to march to exhaustion, then rest for a while.
Which doesn't really seem like a good idea when literally the world itself may be out to kill us.
You have to ask Sean about that.
I mean, for right now, it seems like a pretty good assumption. So, either the world itself is out to kill us, or some exorbitantly powerful magic user is out to kill us. I don't think there's much of a difference as far as we're concerned.
And
No, there is a difference. The difference is in how you approach it. If it's the world, do things that don't piss the world off. If it's a magic user, kill the magic user.
I mean, you could kill the world too. That just creates a different problem.
Don't bring other campaigns into this.
It's a lot harder to kill the world than it is to kill a magic user, though.
I don't know if you have a Tarrasque in a box.
We don't have a Tarrasque in a box.
I'm referring to a different campaign
Yeah,
entirely.
I don't know who would have a Tarrasque in a box.
I don't know who would get angry at someone and just throw their Tarrasque in a box at them.
It's like Pokemon, you know. Tarrasque, I choose you.
Don't know what kind of sick DM would make us face a Tarrasque in the first place.
Most DMs.
Yeah.
All DMs want to throw a Tarrasque at their party eventually.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's a question of when and how.
I wouldn't. I would throw like 5. I don't do things small.
It's like, alright, so I know this is the TPK, but just to make sure you guys don't just roll well.
5.
I think at that point it's a
5.
TWK. Total world kill.
Depends on the Tarrasque. Like not all Tarrasques are world eaters.
You've got 5 of them.
By definition.
By definition, a Tarrasque is a world leader.
Not all Tarrasques. Hashtag not all Tarrasques.
Well, yes, but when you have
A
5
world
of them.
eater or a world leader?
Wait, what?
I heard
All
you
have
say
their likes alike, I know.
heard
Let's
you
go on.
leader.
Alright, so. Anything else? Anything you were doing while you are gathering wounded and injured and the dead?
I guess only having been in the Horde for a fairly short time and being a priest, even if I am of the Holy Light, may as well be a good enough time to learn about funeral rites.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
You learn Orcish funerary rites.
Get that Pyre Master level.
No thank you.
I mean, we both qualify now.
And that requires you to perform a funeral for a person of a high enough level.
I'm assuming that somewhere among those Tauren there was someone of a high enough level.
Yeah, but you have to know it, and you have to do it intentionally. It's a ceremonial thing, bruh.
I mean, I did the ceremony.
How do you say it again, Rudy?
You tell me, hermano.
What you said.
It doesn't work if you It doesn't work if you shop it off to someone else. Also,
I don't speak Spanish.
learn. It's a good skill. It's a good skill to learn.
Just do it in German then.
Kommt er jetzt, Bruder?
There you go.
Yeah, so you take some time as you sort of
Just a big,
you learn that
red hammer just flies.
the Horde doesn't really bury their dead. Not on the large scale. They generally speaking, they prefer to burn them. They cremation is the typical method of sending off the dead among the Horde. Some might have monuments made to them. Some might have some pieces of them buried as sort of a memento, like skulls or like weapons buried on the site of their ashes. But the majority of their body, if not all of it, will be burnt. And you are working with the other shamans and priests to sort of apply appropriate oils and ceremonial dressings to prepare the dead for their final send-off. Anything from the rest of you?
Gianna's gonna ask around. She's trying to figure out if this only happened in one spot, or if it's how far does this go, the tidal wave and everything.
From what you can gather from the people around you, everything in the vicinity of Razor Hill has been hit. You have no idea news going to Orgrimmar or to the Valley of Trials.
Okay.
It hasn't been long enough to get word back.
Okay.
During any free time when we're not searching and doing all that, I will write a letter to home. I have a letter ready to home once we're able to do that.
Once you're able to send messages off.
Yeah, so you prepare one, but it's going to be a while before
The infrastructure.
before the people are able to send letters again.
Just have it ready.
Yeah. So you get it prepared.
I suppose I'll check the state of...
How many boats survived?
I mean, the animals are the animals. I'm kind of concerned about the world. Like, I'd recently scouted out the region, I think just last night, so you know what it's like. I'm going to kind of go back over the route that I had taken to the area around the town and see the damage that's been done to the outside of the city.
Well, for one, Razor Hill's got a watershed that wasn't there before.
Okay.
You know, so that's a thing.
How much of the pig farms got flooded?
Most of
And
them.
are still underwater.
Most of them.
So the agriculture is now aquaculture.
Yes.
Okay.
Go fishing for pigs.
It will work for the next couple days.
Look for the next while. There were a lot of pig farms.
Yes, but you're not going to want them after the next couple days.
Salt water will preserve most of them.
That's not how salt water works, John.
Pickled pig.
You're gonna want to get them out and pretty quickly, anyways, because otherwise this water is just gonna be pickle juice.
Pig cold juice?
Yes, pickle juice.
Aside from the new lake,
A number of the canyons in that form the barrier between Razor Hill and Orgrimmar have also been flooded.
the rivers,
Yeah. They're more like lakes, but yeah.
long skinny lakes, though.
Yeah. They're like oblong lakes.
So what you're saying is we've changed the environment from an arid, almost desert region to an arid, but not at all desert region.
Yeah, like
It's now an arid beachfront property region.
the ground is still red clay. And you suspect there's not going to be a whole lot of changing of that. And there's probably not going to be too much extra plant life growing. But because of the sort of hilly and pockety nature of Duratar, there's a lot of places where water was allowed to collect.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of standing water now.
And because of the way that the clay is, it's not
It's not
really
absorbing
going
it.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's not absorbing it.
It's gonna be salty.
I'm gonna
We
taste
just
some of the water
gained
and
some new
see.
dead seas.
I want to see what the water is like currently. I mean, obviously, it hasn't leached salt out of the ground yet.
Yeah, it's salt water because it came from the ocean. But
Okay, so it tastes like ocean water currently.
It's
Yeah.
ocean water.
Oh, well, I just will, because you see, if it was fresh water, then we know something's really up. Also, salt water is going to super kill
Everything else.
everything because
when the salt is, when it all evaporates, you're not gonna be able to plant anything even that will grow in the.
So what we're saying is this region is super sunk.
yeah,
They
like
just salted the earth.
there wasn't a lot of plant life that grew here before. There's going to be less now.
Also, any plant life that grew here before is like, that's too much water.
Yeah.
Well,
Nope.
Salt.
Nope.
Sailing.
Nope.
Like I
and then they
said,
die.
go pig fishing while you can.
I was actually, that seems relevant. Well, given the situation, I am going to scavenge whatever.
Pig.
I'm sure lots of things died. I'm just going to go out, grab as much as I can, drag it back into town, and keep doing that until someone stops me.
Yep.
John Natal begins fishing for pigs.
I'm basically going to attach a rope to a spear, huck the spear as far as I can, reel it in, harpoon some pigs. They float.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will float.
So you go pig fishing.
Yep.
Finding new and interesting hobbies everywhere we go.
Javelin pig fishing. Who would have thunk it?
Thunk.
I mean, to be fair, there might be a whale on dry land.
Actually, it's a pig. It's more like a.
Actually, yeah, because if
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 enough
the
water
ocean
moved,
came
some
with
of the sea life might be on the land.
Yeah, you occasionally find like a trout or like just like a barracuda A shark.
Huck it in a bag, drag the shark back.
You find a very angry shark that's slowly suffocating.
Land fishing.
I'll finish it off, bring it back.
Is there like a
Sharks,
crab
so-
singing under the sea?
No.
Sharks are way less dangerous on land than they are in
So
water.
you're picking the pigs out of the
Is
water
there
and
a
sharks
battle
off
whale?
the land.
No, there's not a battle whale.
No, you went with me. That's why I went so far. It's like during the flood, you guys saw Garrett go by, then a whale.
It's the undead whale.
Alright. Yeah,
I mean,
so
hey,
that's
worked for Jonah.
what I'm doing.
Alright, yeah, so... Yeah, and, the group of you...
Sorry, sharks have a challenge rating. Give him XP, says John Locke.
That might be a thing if I wasn't not tracking experience points.
Free XP.
Yeah, no, if that's a thing, I'm XP farming.
Get to level
I'm gonna
6,
go find a
fucker.
kraken.
Turns out we just built a giant XP grinder.
A beach
We've
crab.
gone. We've
I'm gonna
gone.
find a beach kraken.
We've
Get a whole
gone.
bunch of XP.
We've gone Minecraft on it.
But you gather a whole bunch of fish and pigs and everything else that has been...
Food is very plentiful right now.
For literally this
And
second.
next week, it's going to be super not plentiful.
Need to start preserving all that food.
I'm hoping that when I drag these things back into town, somebody is, with this new amount of salt that we have everywhere.
You know?
Boil it
We're
down.
gonna have every different flavor of jerky.
All of the jerky.
Yeah.
Salted
Hey.
jerky, smoked
Hey,
jerky.
a year's supply of jerky is better than not jerky.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Is it the shark jerky or the pig jerky?
Doesn't matter.
It's food.
The differences in taste are vagaries at best at that point.
There's a big
Yeah,
difference.
but, I mean, you start bringing massive amounts of meat back and, like, Shojami shows up and is just like, alright, we gonna prepare this so we have some rations for a while. And she kind of starts gathering everything up and starts basically starting fires to
Make
smoke and
If there's any animals, actually, I'm going to take animals out with me so I can just start beast of burdening up with just
yeah,
like,
you take a couple of
hurl a
coconuts.
shark over the back of
Get
a
it?
wolf.
Take up. They may eventually like send a couple peons out with you to help. Actually,
You know, like, you take a couple of kodos with you and you start gathering piles of meat.
I'm now imagining a Kodo with like 12 sharks strapped to it.
Generally, yeah.
It's like a swallow them whole,
And
right?
just gnawing on the shark.
a whale drag behind one. In the Kodo's head. Fuck this shit. It's heavy.
It's
I mean,
that
hey.
Kodo.
Yeah, it's that Kodo. It's like some heavily scarred, missing a horn, missing a horn. It's like, what is happening to me?
I wasn't even summoned this time.
Poor Dave the Kodo.
But you guys continue to do what you can in sort of recovery, and after a while, it begins to get dark.
The sun still works.
You know, a legitimate upside right now.
Now to verify that the moon is still working.
And as the moon rises, so too does
Tide
the
comes
Actually,
down.
no.
As the moon rises, the water comes back. Come on! Elude, why?
The man in the moon has been replaced by a middle finger in the moon.
The woman in the moon. Elune is in the moon.
No, that's not where Elune's at.
Elune is the moon.
But as the moon rises, so too does the funeral pyres, and a number of
We
flames.
get doused by the next tidal wave.
A number of flames begin to rise into the night as songs and dirges begin to echo into the night sky, as the shamans lead others in the funeral songs and the rites to honor the dead. As enough pyres are going that there is almost a faint snow of ash as the flames start to rise. And you are all left to your own devices as the night begins to swing into fullness, as the moon reaches its apex and the flames are burning high and the survivors are mourning the dead.
Heading back to the inn, did any bottles survive?
Yes, and they're all being drunk.
I think everyone's got the
somebody's
same
already beat my
idea.
Grog is just kind of handing out mugs and meat, just not charging anybody. Today is the day where it's time to drink and eat and remember.
Yeah, it would be nice to drink with my friends.
I'd like to clarify, I have not stopped
Friends
gathering
are really
meat.
strong.
I'm
word
going to
for
work
us.
literally as
I think
until
we're all friends.
my body is like no collapse.
Roll me a fortitude save.
Friend is a strong.
Yeah.
We're buddies, we're pals.
Friend
How does
shield.
25 do?
You make it well into the night. Like, all through the day and into the night, you are working, and you find yourself having to stop to sleep after about 12 hours of constantly lugging animal back.
Okay.
That was perfect.
But you do eventually find the need to rest. Anything from the rest of you?
In the future, I'm on my ride to Crossroads. I'm checking to make sure I'm not undead.
You're definitely not undead.
Okay, good. I didn't know,
Alright, so
I didn't know what the warlock was doing to me, so it's like,
cantrip cure minor wounds?
no, it's
Okay,
no,
good.
it's hold my breath and see how long I can hold it.
Dang, it's been like 10 minutes. I got really good at holding my breath in that water.
Oh wait. Drowning increased my lung capacity. Wait.
I imagine at some point during your day, I'll also be going around trying to fix many of the various things that have broken, be it trying to help with sort of mending boards back together to get whatever thrown together houses we're trying to repair, or any of the machines that may have been broken as well.
You want to spend all your mana on repair minor damage spells?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because that's definitely going to be helpful. Because it, help drain some of the water damage out of the wood and, repair splinters and...
Like, we have to replace this board. Boop. Well, that was easy. Especially because there's probably not a lot of wood around here to fix things with.
No.
I mean, go fishing.
And also,
for
if
it.
any of the metal in the buildings had gotten destroyed, we don't exactly have a forge up and going, so I can just be like, nope, that metal isn't bent.
You know how good driftwood is for building things, John?
Is queak the sound that your spell makes?
Yes.
It's the sound,
I don't know,
it's the
maybe.
sound that wet metal makes when it rebends itself back into shape.
Queak.
When it does so magically and no force is required.
And
Yeah.
as to how good driftwood is for building materials, ask Castaway.
I don't know.
Okay.
You say it like
No,
Austin's
no,
going to know a movie.
I was about to
Yeah,
say.
that's why I clarified it to movie.
It's the movie Wilson's from. Wilson. Yeah. Okay. It's Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get it.
No, I know.
Tom Hanks in the volleyball.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He has no idea.
No, she's mentioned Tom Hanks in the volleyball before.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
That's literally all I know.
It's not
Tom
called
Hanks is a
Tom
volleyball.
Hanks in the volleyball.
Yeah.
It is now.
I mean,
Alright, so, the rest of you. As Jangatal is retrieving food and
Big fishing.
Leaf is repairing what damage he can. What are the rest of you? You're salvaging, but are you doing anything else? Are you doing anything else?
She's just gonna go get a drink right
Okay.
now.
It's like, no one needs to be dead right now. My skill sets aren't useful.
Drinking. Do you have any, crafting skills? Leatherworking? No.
Yeah.
The leather
Right now she's
is
getting
either
a drink.
ruined or fine, depending on where it was.
Right now, she just wants to drink.
Yeah, so you get a drink and food. It's on the house again because everyone here is just being fed and given drink.
On
because,
what little is left of the house.
Yeah. At
Oh
the
no,
moment.
food they got plenty of.
Yeah.
For
The
now.
house- the
I'm
house
talking
they
about
don't.
the physical building.
Yeah, what is left of the inn.
My room has a skylight now.
Yeah, basically. Well, the entire room has a skylight. It's one central room with a bunch of bunks in the side.
Oh, okay.
No, the skylight's just over the bunk that you've been using. It's like, so that when it rains, it'll rain on you.
You know, given the amount of water we've had recently, I don't think anyone's being bothered by some rain.
It could be worse, you know. I could be swept away by a tidal wave.
You could have been.
Just saying.
I was busy saving people. That's a trade-off you make when you're a shaman. You save people and get swept away by tidal waves. But that kid made it into the bunker as a projectile.
Yep.
It's a good day to fly, John.
Want to learn how to fly? No,
I'll
tough.
I'll probably just nab some food to go and keep searching for any survivors that I can't find.
All right. So you all spend the evening, and it's about the stroke of midnight.
When the next tidal wave hits.
I know, that's what I'm expecting.
When the Fire Nation attacks.
When
That tidal wave are their thing, though.
when you hear a torrent of displaced air, just
Another torrent. It's gonna kill your Wi-Fi, man. All this torrenting.
this rhythmic beating noise as something is displacing massive amounts of air very rapidly.
What does it feel like?
I'm
Go outside
I-
and
A
love.
noticeable breeze.
yeah, I'm
Yeah, hop outside.
I'm probably
What's it
already
feel?
outside. I'm probably like
It's oppressive, like wind is being rapidly pushed downward. And as you look into the sky, there is a burning red mark as something that is black as night, but with cracks of blazing red, is seen overhead.
what kind of a knowledge check would this be?
It's a bird knowledge.
Nature.
Just be a spot check.
Spot check.
It looks like a phoenix. To
Actually, I can make those.
What can your half-human eyes see?
On a 22, a lot.
That's exactly 10 more than I got.
16.
19.
19.
14.
22, so 12,
Those are-
14,
those of you who rolled above a
16,
15.
22.
Yay.
So the three of you. You spot the blazing orange is the easiest thing to see, and that's all of most of you can see. But the rest of you begin to make out detail beyond that glowing orange. You see scales, plates of metal, wings. As this shape slowly becomes larger and larger, as this massive onyx black dragon covered in metallic armor that gleams in the night, but its body cracking, filled with magma, it seems. That so much so that its flesh is being torn open by the force of the lava in its veins, as that orange glow is from cracks in its chest where the metal plates are just barely holding it together with this lava inside. As he roars, this massive earth-shaking roar as his metallic lower jaw unhinges almost.
So you were joking about the Fire Nation.
Yeah, you know,
And you
metal
hear
and fire.
and
Lots
you
and lots.
hear him shout into the night. The sun has set on this mortal world, fools! Make peace with your end, for the hour of twilight falls. And just this massive roar echoes out across the night as he soars. And just as it flies over the landscape, you see it's massive. Too large for you to really understand the sheer scale of it. Like, from however high it is in the sky, it looks as if it is 100 feet long, just from your perspective of where it's at in the sky. And
It should be easy to hit.
it passes over everything. And as it flies above, it unhinges its maw, and this stream, this torrent, again, torrent, I like that word, of lava just flows down from its jaws over some massive land in the distance that you can't quite make out. And it just circles, making a couple of strafing runs of breathing lava upon the ground, and then disappears back into the night.
So I feel it's kind of like watching, you know, those helicopters that drop water on wildfires. Just replace the water with lava.
More fire. With more lava.
Any knowledge? Yes, I could use.
You can actually roll me history.
I can roll history?
Yes.
You
I
have
don't have history.
knowledge history. No, healers don't get knowledge history.
Anyone who has knowledge
Get
history
to
can
whatever
roll
they
it.
want.
Well, yes, but that isn't one of the whatever I want I took.
Yeah.
Because I figured when I take levels in Tinker, I'm going to have that. So,
Yeah, anyone who has... You can roll me a general intelligence check as well.
okay.
Anyone who has knowledge history can roll me knowledge history. Anyone who doesn't can roll me intelligence.
You'll get information, just not as much.
Oops.
Nope.
15?
Is that intelligence?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Right.
5.
-1.
Okay. This makes sense, because you're the only one who grew up even remotely close to the Alliance.
Right.
You've heard legends of an ancient black dragon who fought alongside the old Horde in the Second War. A dragon that was said to have had adamantine plates grafted onto its body to reinforce its scales. Black dragon by the name of Deathwing.
Great.
And you don't know what Deathwing looks like if it's not like that.
Gotcha.
It's like, never seen a picture of Deathwing, but that
That looks like a death wing.
looks like a Deathwing to me.
If I had to like point at a lineup and say that was Deathwing, that'd probably be what I'd point at.
Yeah.
Picture like the dragon and a gnome.
Yeah, like you get a line of like all the races and then the dragon. It's like, which one's Deathwing? Pretty certain it's that one.
The one with the wings.
The one with wings and death.
Wings of Death.
No, the wings didn't kill anybody. It was the lava breath.
The wings could certainly kill someone if they wanted to, though.
Oh,
let's
probably,
let's
yes.
be frank.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, there may have been a bird flying around that they hit.
I'm gonna have to show all of you the Cataclysm opening cinematic after we're done here, just so you understand exactly what you're looking at.
It's pretty
All
good.
right.
It's pretty good.
Okay. But he goes away. He doesn't bother us.
Yeah, no, he doesn't seem to attack Razor Hill specifically.
Shucks.
Ain't no thing.
He
I
didn't
wanna
need
fight
to. The water did that for him.
What time of night is it?
It's like midnight.
I'm sure the water attacked whatever place he just torched as well, so...
No, he lavaed it.
Well, let's get some sleep and wake up in the morning and continue our work. We might have a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we can't do anything about that right now.
Alright.
I can't do anything about that anytime. If the thing comes here, bye.
If it comes here, I'm just dead.
So,
I accept my fate.
Do you want me to roll? Do you want me to roll initiative or a new character?
so you all get a night's rest.
We want you to throw spears at it.
You all get a night's rest.
Okay.
And
So do I, technically.
yeah, a night's unconscious rest at this time.
You've had a few.
You had a few nights of rest.
Oops. I'm still in the water. Like, it's still flowing elsewhere, off in the distance.
Leave some for the rest of us.
You are.
I like to imagine there's a Garrick-shaped hole in the mountain somewhere.
You all wake in the
For
morning.
whatever I hit.
You all wake in the morning to the sounds of heavy machinery in use.
It's just... Oh, look, there's my hole.
What kind of machinery?
God.
Oh look, it's some sort of complicated doodad that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care.
Yep.
Did somebody call in reinforcements?
Building
Or did they manage to get something up and running?
So, as you all step outside and look around, the walls, the palisades that circle around the fort of Razor Hill were knocked over by the flood.
Yeah.
So, but outside of what would normally be the ring around Razor Hill, you see this sort of train of large iron vehicles, kind of square looking.
So, a train?
Kind of, but it's not like they're not connected. They're just like forming a circle, like a semicircle around the outside of the town. And a number of individuals are moving to and from these large iron vehicles, carrying bandages, carrying supplies, carrying...
I thought you were all heading to the front.
carrying...
I don't think there may not be a front anymore.
Food and rations. And as you look around, you spot a number of orcs and trolls and tauren, but you also spot, and some Forsaken, but there's a couple moving amongst all of these individuals between all of the iron cars. There's a couple of humans. There's a couple of dwarves. There's at least one gnome that you spot.
I'm gonna go figure out what this whole deal is.
So they're like food or target practice or what?
They seem to be helping people.
Oh.
And you see...
Food.
Okay.
And you do see... there's sort of a tent being set up near one of these large iron things, and you see this large orc figure wearing like full plate with like a large banner in his left hand, sort of gathering individuals. He has sort of a pistol on his hip and an axe on the other side as he's sort of shouting orders. He has this sort of like this heavy metal gorget around between his shoulders. It's sort of around the bottom of his his mouth, as he kind of is shouting orders around. All right, Fangs, get everyone to the medical tents. Knock out. Get everyone you can. We need to get everyone up and running again.
I'm going to go up and approach him, I guess. Yeah.
I'm going with you.
Yeah, I'm
Shiana
gonna head down there
is-
to see what's going on.
Same.
You all approach this individual as he looks at the group of you. All right, do any of you need medical attention?
No.
No. Who are you?
Assist.
What is this group?
I'm Markash Stormax, and I lead the Iron Fangs.
You're right.
Yep, I was right.
Well, we are thankful for your assistance. How can we help you?
At the moment, sit back and let us give you people a little bit of help. The Horde just took a big hit, and mercenary companies are going to be, shall we say, a little valuable right now. So we're going to do our best to help out right now.
How far has this destruction gone?
Nothing. That was gonna
Orgrimmar's had some reinforcements, so it took the hit better than most. But
I'd imagine with all those new walls.
the Senjin village has been practically leveled. The Valley of Trials is still scooping water out. South Fury River is flooded. You now have a watershed. I'm sure you've noticed.
Kind of hard to miss.
The barons have been... Well, now there's plural barons. There's a divider between north and south now.
I see.
I can't remember. Out of game, where did her brother say he was going?
He was going to the front lines.
That means
What-
there are
where-
now two
Eastern
barons.
Kingdoms.
Okay.
Other continent.
Okay.
He was on a zeppelin when we got hit with a tidal wave.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the air.
Probably a good place to be.
There's a dragon in the
dragon?
air right now.
Well, that was. We would have been long gone by that time. That would have been days.
Unless the dragon decided to go over to the
That would
Eastern
have been about
Kingdoms.
2 days.
Okay.
Or came
I
from
know,
the Eastern
so-
Kingdoms.
He was either
Repeat
in the air or on a ship, and you don't know which one is worse.
Okay.
Tidal wave or dragon? Take your pick.
Okay.
It was 2 days ago, so he's probably far enough away that he may have
Oh,
missed
was it?
most of it.
It was the beginning of that day because we flew back.
That was no, because we were.
We
down
flew
here.
back that day.
We flew back that day. It was the same day.
The morning he
Well,
left, we got back and got hit by a tidal wave.
evening of that day, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
but
It was the
he-
same day,
yeah,
though.
Oh, okay, full day
Yeah.
to get out of there.
Well, I'm gonna go pig harpooning again.
Hmm.
Well, the fishing's good.
If they don't, neither.
For relative meanings of the word good.
I'm also going to go ahead and ask real quick. So
Well,
we've
pig
noticed.
fishing is a viable food source.
So we've noticed the mass flooding and a massive lava-spewing black dragon that may or may not be Deathwing. It's hard to tell. Anything else?
Well, that seems to be the gist of it for right now, although I wouldn't hold my breath for nothing else showing up.
Well, great.
There's, let's just say that everywhere is looking bad right now. The face of Azeroth has been a little bit reshaped, shall we say. And in the face of national disaster, PMCs rise up to create the war economy.
While I'm pig fishing,
Warcraft
how's
is
the wildlife
Metal
doing?
How's the wildlife doing?
What wildlife?
You're the only wildlife out there.
There's a lot more crocodiles around.
Wait a minute. Where do they come
Okay.
from?
They're good for eating.
Specifically crocolisks, which are six-legged, very angry, very powerful crocodiles.
Hunting.
Things that you don't typically want to go after unless you're ready to hunt them because they will fight back. You suspect, because you knew that crocolisks sort of lived in the bottom of the South Fury River, you suspect that with the river having flooded into Duratar, they just had more room.
They also probably weren't brought here voluntarily. There's probably an amount of, oh shoot, we're in this wave.
Yeah,
And deposited, and they're like, well, we live here now.
probably.
Go pig fishing.
What about, like, game and small animals and insects and squirrels and...
What you would expect for the aftermath of a tidal wave.
Not a lot.
Yeah. And what little is there is currently still burrowed in the ground.
The insects are probably fine. Insects don't get bothered by much, other than
Water is among those things.
yeah. But
Depends on how long they're underwater.
with the density of the clay, they burrow for a little bit and come back up, and they're fine.
Depending on what type.
Yeah.
Depending on how much damage
Yeah,
to the
but
soil
like I said,
was,
there's no soil. It's not soil; it's clay. It's like
depends on how much the wave eroded it, basically.
yeah. So like the insect populations are probably fine.
You do notice a good handful of beetles and other burrowing insects that
Either burrowed or flew.
either burrowed or flew. Yeah.
Like there are less crawling ones, but then again, there wouldn't have been a lot of those in the first place because there's not a lot of foliage.
So the wildlife around here, damaged, but will recover.
Probably, given enough time and appropriate efforts.
Yeah. I mean... Okay. And then lots of dead pigs and land stranded fish.
I mean, at this point, they're also dead fish because they've been stranded on the land for a day.
Turns out being
Yeah.
in a zeppelin doesn't save you from a tidal wave either.
Yeah.
Your brother might be dead.
Thank you, John Lockhall. Thank you.
John Lockhold is just making sure we know just how much it sucks to be us.
Being
Okay?
very comforting right now. Thanks.
Yeah, John, for those watching at home, John Malcole in chat says, in all actuality, Titleways also do nasty things to the band of air that Zeppelins would fly through. You see, they move at nearly sonic speeds and displace the air they travel through, so a balloon would be thrown up as it passed and then dropped. So, turbulence! Shit.
Yeah. Bad things probably happened, but you don't know.
Probably good. It's fine.
Anyone have anything they seek to accomplish this morning?
What are you doing?
They don't seem to need any help with what they're doing, right? So
They seem to be.
gathering. And,
This group seems to be relatively well equipped for dealing with
yeah,
this.
that's what, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go back to help them fix things. Or,
They're sort of gathering up the
Scavenging.
injured, applying bandages, distributing supplies, doing repairs on buildings.
Yeah.
They're sort of, you know, the disaster response teams that sort of like a lot of like national parks have. They're sort of acting in that capacity right now.
Okay. So I'm just gonna stay out of the way.
I'm gonna do my best to try to, at the very least, like help them, you know, like get around, let them know what's going on, which places need assistance the most.
And you give a little bit of hand to their medic, who is an orc woman by the name. You don't get her name, you just get what everyone calls her, which is Knockout.
Cool.
I mean, people call her that. That makes it her name, right?
Sure.
As far as you're concerned.
You get a little bit of a semblance of why she's called Knockout at one point, because as she's sort of like dealing with a handful of individuals, and there's one orc who gets very upset at the sight of a human who's like he gets very agitated, shall we say, while Knockout is trying to tend to him, and he's trying to fight off to try and get into a fight with someone, and Knockout just punches him in the head, and he goes straight out and just, okay, I'm going to fix you now.
I nod in appreciation.
It's like she evidently does not have time for uppity patience.
There won't be a fight here. Do you understand?
And so you give her a bit of a hand, because she seems to be one of the only medics that the Iron Jaws seem to field, or the Iron Fangs seem to field. And so you help gather up the injured, sort of do a little bit of healing. There is a human smith who is currently working with the other orc smiths of the town, who is currently hammering reinforcements into shape to help shore up some of the buildings and get everything put together again. There is a troll who is gathering up a lot of the animals for the stables and making sure they're all right. He has sort of these long black markings across his face and torso that sort of look like branching like web patterns almost. And he's kind of like gathering animals, making sure they're all right, making sure they have their shelter, sort of helping reestablish the stables. Yeah, something?
Well, I guess I'm going to try to help out people reunite with anyone that they got separated from.
Yeah, so you sort of help try and reunite families where they can.
Yeah.
Sort of help everyone find anyone they're looking for. There's a few people that you help reunite with family, but there's a few people that you suspect the ones they're looking for are some of the people that were on the pyres last night. So that's not going to go well, but today is a day of disaster recovery, from what you can tell. It's a lot of work being put in to get everything put back together, but eventually Garthok gathers all of you together, and just he kind of takes a deep breath. All right, we need to find out what the extent of the damage is around the rest of the Horde.
Well, from what I gathered, it seems like it's been quite widespread. It seems like our friends here have been aiding more than just us.
Yes, the Iron Fangs their help is appreciated, as much as Some members of the Horde balk at the idea of a mixed group of Alliance and Horde races giving us aid. I will not turn them away. But for now, we know the likely situation of Orgrimmar and the areas of Durotar. We need to see how much the map has changed. And we need to know what the rest of the world of Kalimdor has endured. Also,
Road trip.
we have not located the body of your shaman, Garrick.
Well, there are plenty of bodies we haven't located yet.
Yes.
Nice to know you care.
I care about you. I also care about the many other people that kind of got
No, I know,
swept
I
away
know.
in the end
I
of the
know, I
world.
know.
Shiana doesn't.
I mean, we're looking for the bodies.
It's like, look, we haven't found Garrick. I mean, there's lots of people we haven't found yet.
I mean, hey, if we find those people, it'll also be a pretty good time. So, you know, I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
We should, the Iron Fangs and what is left of our garrison will continue search efforts and reconstruction efforts here in Razor Hill. But I think it's time that the group of you did a little bit of scouting.
yes.
We're going to need you to run the gamut. We need you to run through the Barrens, see what's changed, what you can aid there. We'll send you with one of our maps, which is likely outdated now. And we'll need you to update, provide new information where you can. You are our cartographers right now. We have no idea what has changed in the shape of the world. So, we will need maps, we will need information, we need to know who has survived, who has not. And we need to know what we're facing.
Okay.
So that is your task. I would suggest going to Crossroads in the Barrens first.
Alright.
Makes sense.
We'll head that direction.
That was roughly 4 days of travel. 4 or 5. I know not if any obstructions have
Now we
complicated
gotta tread
that.
water. Do we have any mounts that swim?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted a kraken, but
Wolves-
somebody wouldn't let me have it
Wolves
as a
can
mount.
swim.
They can, decently, but they're not swimming mounts.
No. They're not like dolphins or anything.
So we have wolves who will be able to ford rivers for you relatively easily, but
Kodos can, but
Kodos can swim. Can't
Kodos sink.
I mean they can swim.
I would think they'd swim like elephants. Or
Yeah.
Horses.
They swim like rhinos.
Okay.
Because they are basically rhinos.
Yeah, essentially. Okay, so we mount up and go.
Yes, and so they provide you with wolves and kodos.
Let's go find that troll.
You guys go
Yeah,
and
where?
find.
He's pig fishing.
You guys go and find Jangatal.
Yeah, we gotta go find him. And
He probably wait 10 minutes, and he comes into town with a whole bunch of now bloated pigs, and unhooks them.
Pokes him to let the air out.
hey, we have to point to the walls, and yeah, we
We just start
put
heading out.
stabby things away, hop on a raptor, and follow.
Yep.
Yep.
So you all begin to make your way east. And
I suppose I'll go ahead and let's see. So I imagine like dealing with him being able to update a map accurately would either be like knowledge, geography, or survival, or whatever.
either or.
Oh, forgery.
I mean, no, we don't want you to forge them.
Forgery would also work.
I mean, I've got that kind of skill, so I mean.
I mean, what's everybody's survival skills? Because the map should go with the person with the highest.
I have the highest.
survival?
You
Yeah.
can't really relay information
I
about a
don't.
map.
You
I
can't write.
don't.
I have the highest survival of people that aren't Jangatal.
Yeah, I've got a +6, so I guess I'll probably
Hold
go
on
on
to
the
that.
map.
I got a +8.
I have a +8 also.
You
Okay, you
are
have
the
it.
witness.
I had a +10 when I'm looking for
Also, Brick has a little bit of experience in
I don't know.
art. because he's a rune
That
master.
wasn't
Oh, that's true.
In being able to draw things properly. Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and have the map and keep that updated.
Jingatal will be making a mental map.
Yeah.
But Jangatal hasn't seen all these areas in the first place, so he's not rewriting
Before we
anything.
go,
Yeah, but still.
I'll take the letter I wrote and leave it to whoever I could leave it to once, so that hopefully
I
they can
imagine
send it
going
before,
Crossroads would be your best chance to send it.
Crossroads is also closer, so it'll be easier to get it there faster.
Yeah, Crossroad is closer to Moldor. You do know that.
Oh, okay.
So the map that you're working with is basically that large map over there at the end of the table.
Cool.
Cool.
Alright,
The map covered in books.
well, that's part of the map.
Also, Kalimdor's over here. You guys are on the Eastern Kingdom side, I think.
No, this is the books are covering the Eastern Kingdom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kalimdor's on you guys'
Sure.
side now. Durotar's that big red that red spot right next to the yellow spot. The Barons are the yellow spot.
Barons. Duratar?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I need to bring that corkboard in here and put it up there so we can put the map up there.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Put the corkboard on the back wall so you got the map.
We can put a we can adjust the camera so that the audience can see it too.
Regardless.
And then eventually, once you've figured out what has changed in all the world, we'll replace it with the Cataclysm map, which is the smaller one.
Blue.
You get your laser pointer so you can point at things on the map with the laser pointer.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I can make this happen.
But yeah, you all start to ride west.
Okay.
There are lots of things we want to change here on our live studio set, so if you guys watching want to help us do that, be sure to donate to the Patreon and/or send money over to our
I
PayPal.
thought you said we weren't going to do
FinalShowFilms@gmail.com is PayPal.
Everyone who is writing can go ahead and roll me perception checks of whatever kind you feel like.
I'm writing too, technically. Is that kind of thing?
No, you're not.
You're
still
riding the
unconscious.
waves.
Ooh, another 1. I always roll 2 when I have to roll perception.
17?
I'm very consistent. I go straight ahead, and that's
This
about it.
is very different from every other character you've done.
I know,
it's
it
weird. It's weird having, okay, roll for perception, and you not getting,
26.
Exactly.
I got a 2, Holly got a 21.
I got 17.
Got an 8.
8.
If I didn't trip over it, I didn't see
I
it.
got a 20, not that it matters.
I'm busy taking in the area. I mean, evaluating the how well people would survive in this landscape, given the wildlife, the plants, that sort of thing.
So,
yeah.
let's hope that what we just spotted wasn't the third horseman of the apocalypse.
You see a
Fluffy Wing,
a-
Deathwing's happy cousin.
You see a skeletal figure with a purple cloak and a skull mask riding on a horse made of bone.
Most horses are made of bone, John.
Nothing
They're
else.
not made entirely of bone, though.
No, we've had water, we've had fire, so now we have some kind of a tornado picks us up.
I'd like to think that the dragon represents
Or an
Kansas
earthquake.
and
Or an earthquake. Give me an earthquake.
Could be an earthquake. It's
Actually, the dragon represents Earth, if you believe it.
lava is earth, I suppose.
Yeah, it's lava.
Yeah.
Magma, whatever it is.
Deathwing is the Earth
So
Warrior.
the Fire Nation has it attacked.
No,
Okay.
the Earth Kingdom has just ruined your day, though.
Lava bending.
I feel like lava bending would be a combination of earth and fire bending.
No, it was earthbending.
It's
in,
just- Oh, was it?
in Legend
Oh, was
of
it?
Korra, it was.
I haven't seen
earthbending.
Legend of Korra.
Watch it, it's good.
I've only seen the original ones.
It's
Um,
like
Last
Avatar.
Airbender.
Last
Austin,
Airbender, but-
you don't get to tell people to watch stuff because it's good, Austin.
I don't think it was as good as Last Airbender. Then again, that's a really high bar to set, but...
It
I
had
mean,
less filler, though.
It doesn't need to be as good as The Last Airbender to be good, though. So.
But I feel like the...
So anyway,
We're waiting for Holly.
yeah, I need to get my dice. So if you guys want to converse a little bit, because I
At the
left
same
my dice
time, though,
upstairs.
it kind of felt a little bit rushed because of that. It felt like they were trying to cycle between so many world-ending terrors that you kind of started losing respect for them. I mean, they also felt like every new season they were trying to invent new crazy powers on the fly, and it was silly.
I feel like the biggest flaw was every season that there was a new supervillain, and they just sort of completely negated the existence of the previous supervillain. However,
I think the biggest flaw is that every episode did not include Cabbage Guy.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty certain it did.
I think that was honestly the best appearance of Cabbage Guy, though. The single best appearance of Cabbage Guy ever.
I mean, probably.
My cabbages.
Ah, yes.
My cabbages.
It's not my cabbages.
So, let me roll a couple of dice here.
Oh, no, that's right.
Oh boy.
How much fire damage are you all taking as Deathwing appears and breathes on you?
It's Life Wing this time.
It's
During the day.
No,
His
the
hippie
life.
cousin?
No, the life warder is.
Life Wing is Alexstrasza.
The life warder is currently in Northrend.
No, she's not. She has other problems.
You made a perception check.
And you saw something that's going to eat you.
What is it?
Just
I don't
keep
know
paying
yet.
attention.
I
No,
know
he's
you
rolling dice
He's
for it.
rolling it.
Oh no, you didn't see something that's going to eat you.
Wait, what?
She got a 21.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, so it's really gonna
This
kill
is
us.
3.5, Austin. Level 2, challenge rating 2 enemies can have plus 30 stealth.
No.
No, but they can have +8 stealth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
Oh dear.
Who got hit? Hopefully it's me, because I'm the tank.
It's the priest.
I mean, I've got.
What's your marching order?
Marching order?
Jengatal probably takes rear guard.
I imagine we probably have the Tauren going
Yeah.
first in order to be able to scout out the land more effectively.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you have
I don't
Brick in
know.
the front,
Would-
you have
would-
Jangatal
Would
in the
Shiana
back.
let anybody be in front of her?
She's not gonna lead.
She's not going to walk head first into
No,
danger.
Shiana's probably right in front of the troll.
Right in front of Jangatal.
So like Brick,
So,
and you're riding
yeah.
with Brick, so
No.
He would have had a chance to get his own mount by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm back.
These guys
I
are
don't know.
lucky dog.
So
Are you middle or second front?
I'll probably do third, right?
Brick, Leaf, Josh, Shiana, Jungatal.
Alright.
Probably.
That
So
makes sense, yeah.
Leaf
Ah! Called it.
does a 25 confirm a crit?
Oh,
Bye,
I
Leaf.
don't see how it wouldn't.
Thankfully, most natural weapons are only double crit.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, this is going to hurt more than slightly.
Ow.
Oh, I
How many points do you have?
14.
Well, that's 20 points of piercing damage.
Bye.
GG.
That's a big pig.
As your mount is walking through, and you start hitting some of the deeper ends of the water, as you
Zach starts rolling a new character.
as you all
Goblin Tinker
are moving through
Greg Tolting.
this sort of semi-deep water. As you're all walking, there's a splashing noise from the raptor in the front, or from the raptor in the back, and the Kodo splashes some water pretty heavily as it walks through, and then there's just this like almost rumbling sound, like almost like a motorcycle, and then as a giant almost crocodile-looking thing lunges out of the water and snaps its mouth onto both sides of Leaf's torso and then yanks him off into the water.
I would like to initiate an assault against Crocolisk Man.
Time to roll off Brag
Is it initiative time?
Yeah, it's time for initiative.
Brag Molting. Brag Molting.
The arrogant Birdman.
You're not dead. You're making death saving throws.
I mean, yes.
Or Crag.
And if I don't make those death saving throws.
Or Crag.
I'm
you don't
dead.
have any other healers,
Or-
do you?
Yeah,
Crag Shaking.
Yeah.
The Tauren Shaman.
because the shaman and the priest are now,
We can medicine check you to stable.
It wouldn't matter if the Shaman was there anyway. They don't have heal spells.
Right. You don't even have, like, healing cantrips or anything?
Nope. I mean, I could rest and take them, but we'd have to rest. We'd have to rest, which we'd be heal anyways.
Fun.
I'm a
Alright.
combat cleric.
Alright, so, what
I
have we
cast
got?
buff spells.
Anything
You
above
cast
20?
heal spells.
Yes.
What you got?
21.
21?
21.
21? What
My
do you-
dex is higher.
Alright.
I think it is, at least. You don't have an 18 dex, do you?
No.
Cool, I have an 18 dex.
You just that's right, because you didn't have to put anything in intelligence.
Well, I also have +2 bonus from my race and +1 bonus from my racial class.
He also has 6s in intelligence and charisma.
Also, you take 1 point of stamina damage, by the way.
Okay, insult to injury. I guess I lose 2 more maximum hit points.
Does that put you at your negative max?
No.
No, that would be 12 hit points, which would be
24 damage.
Yeah.
So you're at, what are you at right now?
I mean, negative.
He's at 0.
Also, the stamina damage happens after the bite because it's if it manages to grab you, but you can't resist its grab. So.
Well, I would have been at -8 basically. So.
All right.
Oh, we're doing the rubber banding to 0 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing
Okay.
the 5th ed.
All right, sorry.
That's why I
Hence
have the
death
house
saving
rules sitting
throws.
on the table.
Yeah, they're sitting on the table over there.
All right. So
Oh well.
Under
Alright,
my dice
so you
stack.
have 21, so
Yes.
it'll go Chang, and then Shiona, and then anyone
Should I
20 to
roll?
15.
Should I roll for initiative for when I make my
16?
death saving
Yes.
throws?
You have 16,
16.
Ooh, 18. Nice.
so
Failed death save.
Wait, sorry,
then it bites
17.
you.
I get a -1 to initiative.
Failed death save, then it croc rolls you.
Leaf,
That's the end of Leaf.
Crocolis,
I'm hoping to draw some aggro.
and then
Who knows? Maybe I can make a Murloc
Josh.
character.
A Murloc
15
pops
to
out of the
10.
water nearby.
9. Okay,
Because the ocean is like right there.
Or
Rick.
a centaur tinker.
Centaur tanker.
Jangatal, you're up.
Centaur tinker.
All right. Well, let's huck a spear and then close on its face, but close in such a
totally
way
with
that
my
I
Robo
flank
Centaur.
with Rogue Lady when
Or
she comes
a-
in
Fiona.
combat.
Or a Forsaken.
Alright.
You can come back as a Forsaken version of Leaf.
22 hits, right?
That would do
yes, it
fascinating
does.
things with my backstory.
All of a sudden, the light hurts you.
It takes 5 damage,
Okay.
and I get into melee, and then I made my tumble check to wrap around it so that when Stabby Lady comes in, she'll be flanking with me.
Also known as Don't Touch Me.
I touched you, not Stabby Lady.
They're the same person.
I know, I married her.
Shiona.
Stab?
Yes. You have flanking.
And I presume you're charging it.
Yes.
Just don't stab me
What
through
bonus do I
it.
get for flanking?
+3.
Because
Two.
specifically it's Jangatal.
Because a sheer's hit. And are you raging or not?
Raging takes an action.
Well, darn. Just so it doesn't.
Yeah,
Put the
no.
medical,
I got one, so.
Natural
That's a
one.
natural 1.
Healing. Oh, H. Okay.
Heal?
Yeah.
Do you kill the priest?
No.
At least
Heal
I
and
don't
first
have the
aid.
magical
They both exist.
mirror
Yeah.
thing in
Yeah,
this
you don't-
campaign.
You,
I don't
you,
have
At
any-
least we don't have to roll
Yeah.
to explode the
you
sun.
lunge at the crocolisk, and it sort of turns to face you, and you almost jam the claws into Leaf, but you realize that's a bad idea, and you kind of pull back.
Does her character really, though?
I feel like she forgot she was on the wolf, and she goes to run and she face plants.
I mean, it's a bad idea because he's the one who heals you when you're hurt.
Yeah, but then he touches her.
He also stops you from dying. And your brother did say that he wanted to see you again.
Yeah, okay.
But your brother might be dead, so
We don't know yet.
might be.
You guys are mean.
We're not going to be dead in it anyway.
You're really mean to me.
I'm
How
harassed.
big is this thing?
Garrett's
I'm
not.
harassing this crocolisk and trying to make it want to come at me, bro. By the way, if that wasn't obvious.
Okay. Next
I'm
in line,
dipped around.
Leaf. Roll me a death saving throw.
Well, that saving throw, that was a 10. Does a 10 make
That
it?
makes it
10
10 makes it good.
That brings us to Crocolisk.
Uh-oh.
Croco roll.
Yeah, it's gonna lash out at Jangatal.
Yay! So it drops Leaf.
Yep. Does a 16 hit you?
Exactly.
Okay. So you take 14 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
And how many stamina?
and you need to make me a grapple check.
Yes, yes. 22.
25.
Well, I was going to say miscalculated, it was 23, but that doesn't matter then.
And so it bites into you, and its teeth sink deep into your shoulder, and you feel your blood being basically lacerated out by these razor teeth and the many rows of this crocolisk's teeth. You take 1 point of stamina damage.
And I'm grappled, I presume?
Yes.
Okay.
You lose an additional 2 hit.
Yes.
Which then brings us to Josh.
I'm not sure I can even hit this stupid thing.
Shoot it with a crossbow.
I mean, it's grappling, so I think it's flat-footed.
Is it? I don't know. I'm gonna try a shot and see.
Unless it has special rules.
I don't think it's really
It's not
grappling. I mean,
Well,
Biting with its teeth.
And it's hard to dodge when you're holding a 7-foot-tall being in your mouth. Unless you're like 20 feet tall or something.
anyway, I'm gonna give it a shot, so to speak.
If you're 20 feet tall, it's hard to dodge regardless.
9. Anyway, I blow a shot.
You fire the crossbow, it tink, scrapes off of its hide.
Yeah. I figured it would.
Brick.
I'm gonna charge it.
Alright.
Punch it.
Roman attack.
And I have the beast alignment. So and it says
So you get to pounce.
full attack charge.
But
Yes, but you don't have any extra attacks yet. You don't have a second attack yet.
All right.
Your Bab is not yet 6.
And you're not dual wielding.
I mean, 1 fist in each hand. Punch 1, then punch 2.
That is a 14.
Just barely misses.
I don't suppose he's technically flanking with me.
No, because because it's a medium creature and you're flanking with
Did
Shiona.
you add the +2 for
Yeah.
charging?
Oh no, so 16.
That hits.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So that's +2 to your damage. So
No, it doesn't.
does it not? Okay, no,
Just
that's
do
that's spiritual
a feat.
charge. Yeah.
That's a feat.
Feat allows you to add +2 to the damage and make a shout. For free.
7.
7 points of damage. All right. Look at this. A CR3 enemy is actually a dangerous challenge for a party of 5 level 2 characters.
Yeah.
turns out.
The CRs are pretty accurate at
I'm
low
not-
levels and with, low equipment.
I'm not there to give them all massive buffs.
Jangatal, we're back to you.
Well, my options are pretty limited.
I'm not there to have battle shouted and begun the war drums, or battle shouted and done whatever other thing I do.
And I'm
I
here,
don't-
but not to heal people.
Yeah,
I don't have any daggers with which to
I'm
try
currently
to
a chew
attack
point.
it,
it's right now 4 level 2s.
so I can either try to punch it or escape the grapple.
What would you like to do?
Let's see if we can get out of the grapple. So, make me a grapple check, I guess. I'll make a thoroughly mediocre 16.
That's a 22.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
That's, yeah.
Shiona.
Alright.
But I'm distracting it enough. Get that flank.
I'm gonna try to
You wanna
actually,
rage?
not roll a 1. Yes, I'm gonna rage.
Get angry.
Yes. Yay!
Oh, that's angry.
That's, what's my bonus to hit?
Right now,
Oh, I
you're
thought
getting
these
up.
were- And I'm flanking.
I mean, you hit.
So, 19 plus
You got
3,
higher than a
22,
16, you hit.
24.
You hit.
Okay. Let's see.
And you get your sneak attack because you're flanking.
What's that do again?
You get 2d6 plus 4.
Oh, thank you.
You get extra d6.
8.
8 damage. All right. As the Leaf, roll me another death save.
That's an 8.
You fail 1.
Fail.
Crocolisk's turn. It's going to make a grapple check against you.
Come at me, bro.
Okay.
Another 16.
21. You take its bite damage. That's going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And you take 1 more point of stamina damage.
You know what's really sweet? Fast healing.
Yeah.
Because now I'm at 1 instead of 0.
That brings us back around, Josh.
Okay.
This crocodile is death rolling your troll.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's still moving.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if the movement is his own or the death roll.
20 to hit.
20 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
4.
4 points of damage. That is not nothing.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things against the crocodile who has 200 hit points, it's nothing. But it's not nothing right with that.
Right.
Apparently, a crocodile is going to Tarrasque at a kid.
Yeah.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yep.
Brick, what you got?
You just keep punching it.
Punch.
Punch it.
Punch.
Stabilize 2 of our
That
allies.
is a...
Oh, no, you auto
Oh,
stabilize.
that is
Yeah.
a 15.
15 hits. Roll damage.
Unless it keeps chewing on you.
I mean, it didn't keep chewing on me, so...
It didn't
Only
keep
if
chewing
you-
on you because he stabbed it.
What was that?
3.
3? Alright.
I mean, I'm sure it would have moved to chew on someone else eventually anyway, but I mean...
Yeah, after your leg was off. And it had a snap.
Bring us back to the top. Jangatal,
Yeah, flash
you
wound.
exist with 1 hit point.
Well, I mean, I'm...
You exist with 1 hit point. What do you get 2 now, don't you?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
I've got 2 hit points now.
Yeah! Good old 2 hit
So we gotta
points.
kill it.
I mean, we've already demonstrated that 1 hit point is meaningful. Let's go ahead and...
Stab it.
Apply damage.
Apply damage to its face.
If I escape, it might miss me, which might give us another round. Punching it, I'm going to do anywhere from 3 to 5 damage. If I hit...
It's already proven difficult to escape from, though.
Yeah, but I can roll well and I can roll poorly.
You can hit it and
How
maybe kill
injured
it.
does this thing look?
It's bloodied.
How long has it been bloodied? Like, just recently, or... Like when Holly stabbed it, maybe, or...
Probably around the time Holly stabbed it.
Shiana.
Shauna, yeah.
Yes,
One and the same.
And then 2 more people shanked it. Yeah, let's go ahead and punch it. Let's sink my tusks into it, as it were.
Get those natural weapons.
You said 15 hits, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Exactly. Fun fact, 15 is also its flat-footed armor class. It doesn't lose any AC for grappling someone.
4 damage.
4 damage. That is not nothing. This crocolisk is still thrashing around, but it does not look
It
good.
bites me, I bite it back.
Yeah.
You have to kill it this time.
Shiona.
Okay.
Critical.
I'm still raging, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Plus 9 to your hit.
Just roll a 20 and get it over with.
Yeah, that's a
It'd be
good
nice
point.
payback.
Yeah, like, I don't know, 22?
22.
You hit. Roll damage.
Okay.
I don't think you can...
6 plus 4, 10.
Could you have rolled less than 3 damage?
No.
No, not possible.
You couldn't have not killed it.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
I want to just slice it up the middle and gut it
So you just
with my claws.
as this massive, like, 6-legged giant crocodile is thrashing around with Jangatal in its jaws, just flailing with him. He's kind of ragdolling the troll. But as it rears its head up to, like, prepare to slam Jangatal back into the ground, you can take the opportunity and drag your claws, digging into its torso, and just rip down and open up its stomachs from the inside. Spilling out its guts and also
And
the
the
remains of another animal that it had eaten
That's
recently.
What animal?
You have to
Your
guess one.
Murloc.
You have to guess one of the pigs.
It was your pet Murloc.
Have a pet
Well, the good thing about this
Not
is that
anymore.
Jangatal heals himself, so we don't need the healer to survive, but it would be good if the healer survived.
Meanwhile, Leaf, roll me another death saving throw.
That's a 5.
You fail 2.
Alright, now we all sequentially roll medicine checks on the dude.
Yeah, so,
Is it a
Josh,
DC
what are you up to?
15, I believe, to stabilize someone?
Try to stabilize him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we're still in initiative,
But,
because I'm 1 death saving throw away from dying.
Yep.
I think it's a DC 15 heal check, but I'll double check.
The problem is, guess what my spot? Well, can everybody, I mean...
Everybody can roll one.
Everyone will get a chance.
Alright, so I'm just going to go up and just see what I can do. 5.
Nope. Brick, what you got?
Rolling terrible.
You gonna try and heal him? Try and
Yep.
stabilize him?
Yeah, it's healing, right?
Yeah. Heal check.
That's 12.
Nope, not quite. John Gatal. Roll me a heal check.
Nope.
Shiona, roll me a heal check.
I don't have heal!
You can still try.
I have
Try
negative
anyway.
1.
It's just
You
adding
can
your,
try if you
adding
want
your
to.
spirit modifier.
Which is a
That's
negative
spirit.
1.
Roll
Yeah,
a 16.
Same as mine. So
You better-
roll an 18.
Nope, that's a 7.
Alright. Leaf, roll
And
me
if
a
I
D20.
roll like the rest of you people have been rolling, I'm about to roll up a new character.
I'm sorry.
Okay, roll.
Yeah, I've got a pretty high chance of making it.
15.
You
Okay.
are still alive
We all
for
get
another
to-
round.
Or we all get one more
Yeah,
round,
one
and then
more
it's
round,
over
big
one
one.
way or another.
So
Josh,
we got the same
try
thing.
again.
3.
Nope. Rick, try again.
Where's Holly's tower? Is it
Oh,
here? Is it
it's
down there?
upstairs.
It's upstairs.
Yeah.
There's a tower right behind you.
Is there?
That tower.
The big tower.
It needs to be Holly's.
Apparently
It
mine
was
is...
giving me really good rolls the first, 10. I think I rolled
Mine gives
As
really
you're
good
all
luck.
frantically trying to bandage the numerous,
Yeah,
fan of teeth wounds that are in Leaf's body.
Just somewhere in the distance, there's a
Hey, that's a 17 on the dice.
there's an orc shaman
19.
going.
19.
I feel like
Yay.
my party needs me.
My shaman senses are tingling.
Rick finally manages to just clamp bandages down on all these
Plus
bleeding
10
wounds
to
and
my
manages
heal
to
check.
stop
I need
the
to roll
blood
5.
flow.
Without constricting the airflow. Which I feel like was my problem.
Yeah.
Just like, apply force, crack, crack, crack. You don't need ribs. They grow back, right? That's how people work.
So you are now stabilized.
I'm going to fillet some crocodiles.
Would you have died? Or would it have been a natural 20?
No, I just rolled
one.
my D8 for healing and it was a 1. But you know what? Yeah,
You're
no.
You're
Still
stable.
alive.
You're at 0. You're just unconscious for the next hour.
Oh, that was really close.
Wait, I'm at 0.
You're
I'm
unconscious
Oh,
for
I can't
now.
even heal myself.
What would your next death saving throw have been?
What would my next death saving throw have been? A 20.
You would have come to life with 1 hit point.
I mean, that's not how it works, but sure.
Yes, it is.
That's how rolling a natural 20 on
No,
a death
no,
save is.
no, that's not how rolling dice works.
Yeah.
What?
Just because you rolled a 20 then doesn't mean you would have rolled a 20 when you needed to.
Alright. Jengatal is filleting some crocodiles.
19.
As his wounds seal themselves shut in front of you.
Very, very slowly, but they happen.
Over the course of the next 2 minutes,
I don't have
they're
any.
all gone.
You still have -2 stamina though.
Yeah, you saw that stamina damage.
For 1 hour. Because I heal ability damage at stupid rates too.
Yep.
Oh, we're not off to a very good start.
So you have an unconscious Leaf.
Okay.
And
Who is probably-
this thing's pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's a
You
medium.
got
It's a
food for
medium-sized creature.
days.
If we could process it.
It's all muscle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to cook it though.
Well, we're gonna cook. Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm in no condition to be writing, so.
yeah, we're not gonna
Did,
write.
did
I
any
have
of you
the trade
take the,
cook- I
yeah,
have-
did anyone, did any of you other than him take the trade cooking?
I have survival. I know how to salt and cure meat. It might not taste good.
Yeah, you can make rations.
I'm the only person who knows how to cook.
Yep.
I thought I did, but instead of cooking, I took poison making. I feel that those are two very different things.
I mean,
Cook the poison
it's
into
one of
the
those ones that you can take regardless of
Yeah,
your
it's
initial
one of the
selection,
secondary
right?
ones. You can take it whenever you want.
I might take a rank or 2 in that eventually down the line. I don't get enough skill points per level for how many class skills I have.
I know,
I
right?
have.
Well, so we kind of set up camp, I guess.
Yep. So you,
A little farther away from the water.
yeah, we want to get a little bit away from the water, so another one of those doesn't eat
That's
you.
what I'm doing.
I have 24 class skills, and I don't have nearly enough skills per level to deal with all of
Well,
them.
whose fault is that?
You gotta raise your intellect, man.
I'm gonna find the high ground.
All right.
Yeah,
And we're going to set up camp on the high ground.
All right. What little high ground there is.
Well, you know.
The high ground is now beachfront property, so...
It's better than being in a swamp.
It's a desert swamp.
A swamp.
I feel like that
The
would
swamp.
produce both black and red mana.
Yes. It's like the Akum refuge.
No, it's Badlands.
Yeah.
It's the Badlands.
Yeah.
It's literally Badlands, yes.
Swamp desert.
Nice.
Or Swamp Mountain.
Or it's, yeah.
Swamp Mountain.
No, this is a swamp desert.
I mean, technically...
Which means that camels have protection from it.
Who cares?
Camels have protection from... Do they have protection from it, or are they desert walking?
They have protection from deserts. Because there's a
What?
card that's a desert that taps to deal 1 damage to an attacking creature. And the camel's a 1/1 for 2. and it with banding, and creatures it bands with have protection from deserts, and it always has protection from deserts.
Anyway.
So if you turn that land into a creature and try to attack it,
That was from Arabian Nights, wasn't it?
I believe it was actually from Mirage.
This is the Arabian Nights block, wasn't it? Yeah.
But yes, anyway.
Okay.
You find high ground and set up.
We set up.
An hour later, Leaf, you wake up. You are conscious at 0 hit points.
Hello. Welcome
I
back.
think, I think you recover 1 hit point in the hour.
conscious it. Wait. 4 hit points.
You immediately wake up. Heal.
Because you had the wait.
You do not. You add your level.
Yeah.
You add the number of mana points you spend.
Yeah. Basically, you heal an additional number of points equal to the mana that you spent on the spell.
Okay, so 5, because I have the thing that lets me cast 1 level higher as a healing domain.
Yes.
Which is basically a free mana.
Yeah, it's basically a free mana port
It's
to
true.
it.
So you're up to.
So I'm up to 5 or 6.
You're up to 6, we'll say.
Cool.
Okay.
What time of day is it, by the way?
You left out in the morning. It's probably noon. The sun is beating overhead. It's
Okay.
it's hot.
Alright.
Hour will probably give me plenty of time to smoke, cure the meat. That was a 22 survival check.
I'm up to 10 hit points now.
Salt.
Okay.
More dry it in the smoke, not like imbue it with smoke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you
To
Embed
try
the
it.
smoke with it.
you start a small fire and you dry out the crocolisk meat, and you make crocolisk jerky.
Well, it's not jerky yet.
Yeah,
It's gonna be.
It's dried meat.
It takes a while to.
it's salted meat.
It'll last till tonight, and then I can properly cure it.
All right, so yeah, Leaf, you're conscious. You have many perforations in your chest.
Everybody else in the party looks perfectly fine, no injuries at all.
Which I'm actively attempting to begin sealing up.
Yep.
Yeah,
You place a hand on your chest and you feel the warmth of the holy light suffuse into you as you feel those wounds begin to seal and the pain begin to recede. But you're still pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Ow.
Well, I cast it twice.
Oh, you did?
So
You're
I'm up to 10 now.
at the 10. You're still sore. It hurts.
You notice you have
It's
bandages
been a
on
bad
things
day.
that weren't even damaged because people were just bandaging you arbitrarily with like 2s and 3s.
You
Yeah,
wake
you
up,
got
you wake
some
up
extra-
like a mummy.
Bit me in the chest. Why is there a bandage on my toe? I mean, I guess everyone was crowding around me trying to make these rolls, so it was like, oh, I can only get to his foot.
There's a bandage over his mouth.
Like, they're all wrapping this man in cloth. Face.
She was doing it one-handed.
Yeah.
That's how you put the bandage down and just roll him onto it.
I feel like she would have meant to put one across his mouth.
Meanwhile, across the world, inside a mountain.
Okay, so we're gonna travel another 3 or 4 hours before dusk.
I think we're
They're taking a long rest right now, I think.
No, we're not taking a long rest. We were waiting for him to wake up.
Yeah, so you wake up.
Wait,
So we're going to keep moving without running into something else?
I don't know. Have the conversation. What do you guys say?
When he wakes up, John Gatal's going to assume we keep moving and start packing stuff up.
The rest of you? You have words. Use your
I
words.
don't know.
Garrick's
You have words.
Garrick's,
I know what you guys do.
Garrick's not there. They don't know how to use words.
We keep moving. I guess we don't really want to be around here much longer.
We keep moving.
But where we're going, is that going to be any safer than here?
Yes.
You don't know. You're not even there.
Here, just
Then if it isn't, someone will finish the job that creature started. Let's just move on.
Garrick just appears from behind, slits the throat, leaves.
You know what? Just in case I get crit again. Okay, good. I'm healing full.
But
Is that mild?
your stamina points are still down until 24 hours of the actual mass.
No, it's 1 hour. Or,
No. Isn't it a day?
Oh yeah. How long does the stamina damage last?
Stamina damage is a day.
Yeah. Stamina damage lasts for a day for people who don't regenerate.
Yeah, it's basically it's a long rest, and you recover 1 point of stamina damage on a long rest.
In that case, I'm not going to use a full spell. I'm just going to cast 2 cantrips because I was only down 2 then,
Alright.
instead of being down 7.
Because,
Right.
and then as a troll, basically, I long rest. I super long rest.
Oh, I guess
every hour.
I would have cure my wounds as a cantrip, because why not? Because I have all my cantrips. It's like, here, 1.
1 hit point stabilizes.
Yep.
So we're going to move along for a little while longer and hope we get somewhere safer, I guess.
All right. Now that you're watching out for crocolisks,
We get attacked by the air.
everybody can roll me some survival checks.
Flying crocolisk.
What is that?
It's a crocolisk, not a crocodile that has 6 legs, but a zerg, a type of zerg. It just appears.
What'd you get?
It's a crocahawk.
Did you get a 0?
You're watching out for crocolisks. You missed the crocahawk.
Croc.
did not
Those are a croc.
I'm just imagining like a giant crock pot just filled with hawks flying through the air.
No.
So what did anyone get?
How about a 6?
6.
Yay.
23.
23.
I've got a
16,
vendetta against
16.
these things.
5.
5.
Natural 20, 29.
So do you, apparently.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
both
those
of you were almost eaten by one.
Yeah, the 2 guys were eaten by him. Know what they look like.
So yeah, the
Well,
two,
actually, I probably didn't really see much of it.
No, you
Honestly.
actually no. It was like, what the?
I mean, you got that slow motion shot of just like turning as water is spraying everywhere, and there's the giant fanged claw coming at
All
you.
you've seen of a crocolisk is the inside of the mouth.
Basically, I got the thriller movie jump scare, essentially.
You got Harryhausen.
I'm picturing like the
Thanks,
trailers for
you'll get feedback.
Rampage right now with the giant crocodile.
Yeah, with like a giant crocodile
Yes.
rising up and just diving back down.
Pretty much.
It was art in motion, is what it was.
So both of you being
Painting in nothing but red.
both of you being acutely
And green.
aware of the danger of the things that lurk in the waters.
I guess I do wear some green.
Your also skin is light green.
You are very careful to avoid any very particularly deep
With
water
all the colors of the half-orc.
as you make your way through the rest of Duratar. You're traveling. Let's see. You're heading from Razor Hill to Farwatch right now. So it's about 14 hours of travel. So it starts to get dark, but you can see the river. You're not there yet. You're still a couple hours away, but you can see the river where most of this water seems to have overflowed from South Fury River. And where the bridge to cross South Fury used to be.
Great.
How wide is this river?
It's probably about 50, 60 feet.
Is there anything left
It's
of
called
the
the
river?
South Fury for a reason.
It's flowing fast.
Yes.
Is there anything left of this bridge?
Splinters and the posts on the edges that used to be supporting it.
That's a little bit more than repair minor damage.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, a little bit about as big as this wood splinter.
Time to create a rope bridge from nothing.
But yes, it is dark.
The support posts are there though, so there's that.
You've been traveling for about 8 hours at this point.
Is there a good place to make camp?
If you don't want to camp on the bank of the South Fury, you could camp a little bit. There's a little bit of hill, but that is getting a little closer. From here you can see not only the South Fury River, but you can also see the looming thorns of the Razormane grounds. So if you camp too far south, basically you're going to be somewhere between a river full of crocolisks and an area full of quillboars. Take your pick.
Quillboars.
They're crocolisks? Oh, how fast is it moving?
They're crocolisks.
I guess they don't care.
They really don't.
They walk along the ground.
They're like Nile crocodiles, but they don't care about how fast the water's going.
And they have 6 legs.
And they have 6 legs.
I'm gonna head for. You said there's a hill nearby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head
That's
to
a
the
little
hill to
closer
start
to the
setting
grounds,
up
yeah.
camp.
I start work in 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Right.
Set up camp on top of the hill,
Aren't you excited?
presuming people follow me.
Yeah, does everyone follow Jangatal as he goes to set up camp?
Typically speaking, he knows what he's doing, even if he doesn't
Yeah.
particularly look it. So you know what?
I think, camping
And
we'll set up
you
a
know,
perimeter.
cold. Actually, I want to smoke this meat.
Yeah, you want
How defensible is the area we're in versus how likely is it to be ambushed?
You have a bit of a ridge between you and the Razormane grounds, and you have clear view down into the river. If the Razormanes were going to attack you from somewhere that wasn't in your sight, they'd have to climb the cliff face, which is, I mean, you don't know how likely that is, but it seems like a lot of effort to get a small group of people.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and set up a fire to smoke all this meat before it, starts to rot.
Mm-hmm. So you all set up camp. Any conversation to be had?
How are you feeling, Lee?
Well, I've had better days.
I would imagine.
I say this whole end of the world situation isn't panning out so great.
Understatement of the year.
How far are we from Crossroads at this point?
Crossroads.
3 days.
Based on the map that you know, you've crossed about 8 hours from Razor Hill, which would put you at about Razor Hill to Crossroads. That would put you at about 26 hours of travel to go. That's hours of travel, specifically.
So 3 more days.
Well, let's hope the first leg of the journey was the worst one.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's that third leg that really gets to be a problem.
Or the 6th, in the case of crocolisks.
unfortunately, our job is to figure out the situations with the other legs.
So comparing the map to the terrain we came across, I mean, is there like minor damages and all these little river things?
So compare on the big map where Duratar is at.
Okay.
And you see, how it's mostly landlocked, and there's the South Fury River that separates it and the Barrens.
Right.
And then you look at the Cataclysm map, and you see how the South Fury River is bleeding into Duratar.
Oh, fun. Okay, yes. Huh. How interesting.
No, I don't see, because it's way over there.
Yeah. But you are free to get up and look at the map,
Yeah.
Or we can just
Yeah, but that involves getting up.
or pick up the map
Yeah.
and move it around.
move the books first.
Yeah.
There's the Cataclysm map.
Finish that one.
All right, everyone. So,
You're looking at the wrong answer.
Let's help them be really confused.
all right. So, They're here.
And you're on the other side of the river.
They're here. I'm here.
Yep.
In a mountain somewhere. Like in a Garrick-shaped hole.
Yes. Our map shows a solid line all the way through there.
We're there.
I'm there.
Come on.
Okay.
So anyway, so we've seen a little bit of difference, but it's
Yeah.
going to get a lot worse.
You see a very notable difference, that being all this water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the part you're pointing to is not on camera.
What? I'm not pointing at anything right now.
No, the part that you were pointing to a second ago.
Oh.
Excellent geography lesson.
Is it on camera now? Liam, you can see the camera. Tell me.
Well, let me check. Barely. There you go.
So they're here, and I'm here in a hole in the mountain.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
And the people listening to this without cameras haven't seen a thing.
Why, it goes up on YouTube as a video as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll actually genuinely, I think me and Austin are going to work on getting a thing set up over there so we can have a camera pointed at it.
Right, yeah.
So I can point at the map, because the map is going to be relevant.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns out, you know.
Until then,
And if you want to make that process faster, again, donate to Patreon or donate directly to us at financialfilms@gmail.com on PayPal.
Give us
so I
money.
guess the troll can take the first watch.
Yeah,
he's
Troll can take the first
smoking
watch.
his meat.
Yeah,
and then
he's
I'll
gotta-
get up for
he's
the
gotta
second
smoke the
watch
meat, so.
and help.
We also want to fix our audio and get like everybody gets like individual tablets that hook into like have like a little microphone on them and go to Discord, so all of our audio goes through Discord.
You know what we could do? We could put the map in the corner where the Storm, Earth, and Fire logo is at and make it an element that can be toggled on and off, so when I need to reference the map, I can turn it on and point at it.
Sure.
Probably a good plan, yeah.
So,
So I'll take second watch.
yeah, so you take second watch. I'm just going to roll for
Keep
second
the
watch
fire
and see how he
going,
does.
Keep the meat cooking.
All right.
Or whatever.
He has a pretty easy watch. So after an amount of watch, Jangatal finishes, salting the meat and gets the food ready to go. And packages it, separates it into different parts. And then you are woken up for second watch. Go ahead and roll me spot.
This is not a good idea. You know how my spot is.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It's
18.
not Spot, it's Fido. That's why it's so bad.
18.
18.
So at least if I saw something, I saw something.
So
You see the crocolisk eating leaf.
Have a good meal. Move
Or
forward.
drag it over the spit.
the South Fury River,
Dragon, enter me.
you notice, it kind of swells occasionally, like it's still like getting a whole lot of water from somewhere further up the river,
Yeah.
and it occasionally swells and just disgorges a bunch of water off the side into where these sort of lakes and outflows are forming. Whenever the river swells, it just dumps water over the edge into what is now the South Fury watershed,
Right.
as far as you can call it. And you also notice, ever so faintly, occasionally you just see eyes and noses of these crocolisks just sitting ever so still on the surface of the water, just waiting for something to get too close. And you make the note, I'm not going to get close to those, because they will eat me.
Right. As long as they don't come out of the water that much.
No, they're waiting for prey. And you
Yeah.
occasionally, as you're watching, you see like a bird or something get too close to the water, and one of the crocolisks goes, and it's gone.
Okay. So looking in the other direction, nothing went that way.
And your watch otherwise
Okay.
passes relatively uneventfully.
Okay. So
So who do you wake up for third watch?
I'll take the watch.
I'll wake up.
So you wake up Brick.
Right.
Brick. Oh. You can go ahead and roll me a spot
You
check.
needed more rest, so I think you can. Yeah.
You need to recover from all that stamina loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need your rest.
18.
18. So you, at this point, it's very dark, but you do notice, as you're looking around, there are shapes moving in the distance. You can't tell of what, but you just see dark figures, roughly of like orc or human height, but you can't really make out enough of a shape. Like you couldn't tell if it was a humanoid or just a big animal. But you do notice a number of shapes that are moving out in the shadows and the darkness, moving away from the river, like towards the coast.
Oh, so they're moving away from us, or not towards us?
Yeah, not towards you, like across you, basically.
Okay.
Like you're looking north and they're traveling east.
Alright. Good to know that.
Which is in the direction of Razor Hill, among other things.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
But other than that, your watch passes mostly uneventfully. Who do you wake up for fourth watch?
I'll do it.
Shiana?
I let her know what I saw.
Alright, Shiana, go ahead and roll me a spot check.
Okay.
She rolls a 2 and we all die.
I mean, it was a 6.
Roll 2, 10.
We don't see it.
You
It's uneventful.
you don't see anything weird going on at the night. You just kind of are focused on making sure nothing's coming directly at you, so you don't pay too much attention to the surroundings, but nothing seems to attack the group of
Don't
you.
pay attention to the dragon that's behind me.
So it's just slowly descending. Just like the camera shot over your shoulder, and just slowly the dragon's head descends into view behind you.
Quiet night.
And then the sun comes up and it disappears.
Your watch passes uneventfully. No, I am the cataclysm is the line. Thank you very much.
I didn't say it was that dragon.
He's just sounding like Batman, so.
Alright, and you all wake up in the morning as the sun rises.
Even him?
Yeah, even
Oh,
you.
good.
You're exhausted, but you're awake. You're alive. You're awake and alive.
Nice to see another sunrise.
So once everyone's
This is
awake-
about the time, by the way, that at noon of this day, like as it gets to evening, is when you're slowly starting to wake up.
Alright.
The timelines are beginning to
So we have to cross this river.
Yep.
So once everyone woke up, I do let them know what I saw.
Yeah, I love to know how many crocodiles I saw.
2 of them. 1 and a bird.
You know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
I know there is a difference.
Don't the alligators have a more...
Alligators
One will
have a
see you
skinny...
after a while.
Yeah.
One will see you later.
So this river is certainly not fordable.
I mean, you could try.
Dad joke. Brought to you by...
It would be
In a while,
it would be
crocodile.
difficult
See you
without
there,
some
alligator.
kind of it would be difficult without some kind of
I just
securing
saw-
securing line. You could definitely try. You could certainly try, but if you didn't have some kind of line to secure you to the shore, there's very good odds of you getting swept downriver. Not to mention the fact that there might be crocolisks hiding at the bottom of the river.
The crocolisks are my concerns. We can tie ourselves to this post all day long, but
Then you just give the crocolisks a way to get up on shore.
they can get up on shore if they want to. They're just not as effective
We'll
up
bring
there.
them on shore and then we kill them. And after about a couple of weeks of doing that, we
Then we're
cross.
just crocodile fishing with ourselves as bait.
Question: if I strapped a rope to a javelin and I hucked it, how well would it stick in the post? We're gonna find this out the way that I.
Legend of Zelda
typically
physics.
would.
Let's go.
I'm just gonna try. Does someone here have a rope?
Yeah, well, I got regular rope. It's not going to tie a rope onto a javelin. I mean, we're talking like hemp rope. I have 25 feet of spider
Spider silk.
But
That might
it's
work.
only 25 feet.
The river's about 60 feet across, so
Yeah. I only have 50 feet.
I was like, throw the javelin, and the rope is gone too.
If anybody's got some hempen rope, so a long enough rope, just hang off the side. I'm just gonna go grab it,
Yeah.
and I'm
50 feet of
Hang
hemp
it
rope.
I'm gonna
But it's
tie it to this post, tie the other end to a spear, and huck. Shall I make an attack roll?
Sure, go ahead.
I get the -2 because of the distance.
Yep.
That's 19. Sink into the other post.
Yeah.
Should I roll for damage to see how well it sinks itself or not?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a damage roll.
6.
6?
We just entered this house.
where the dog rolled over.
Oh no, it was Zach hitting a thing.
Thank you for giving me a freaking heart attack.
Sorry, it sounded like a door slamming.
Gosh.
It is a door slamming. It's Zachary slamming.
Zach, stop playing with the drawers.
It's hard to control this chair. The wheels are annoying.
You can control it enough not to go wham.
Actually, that chair's a butt.
Yeah, it's actually surprisingly hard to not.
You haven't done it before. Let's put it that way.
Regardless,
You just haven't noticed.
How I pull on the rope. How secure does it feel?
It holds, and it'll probably work as a guide rope. You would not suggest putting like the weight of one of the kodos on it.
But it would support, let's say, a lithe jungle troll, maybe,
Yeah, probably.
or a goblin who can probably tie ropes well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you can always
Feed
just,
me to the shark.
you can always just throw them across.
You see, the range of an improvised weapon is 10 feet,
Yeah. I'd have to
so
swing
it's
it
not
over
even
50.
possible to hurl him 60 feet.
It is if you're a stone giant.
Yes, that's because they're not improvised weapons to stone giants.
They're just thrown weapons.
I can't make my helicopter yet either.
I'm gonna, testing
that
this
thing
guide
would be
rope.
Yes, that would be useful. However,
If we had a rope securely tied on both sides across, we could from there make a rope bridge, I presume?
If we had enough rope.
Theoretically, yeah.
we have what?
If
2
you have
50-foot
that much
sections?
rope.
But we need to get a kodo across. And I'm thinking hemp rope is not going to support a kodo, is it?
No,
Yeah, the kodo can ford the river. It's just got to worry about the crocolisks.
they can swallow the crocodile.
How well can a wolf ford a river?
Relatively easily. They're good swimmers.
And I'm guessing there's not really a whole lot of stuff around to aid in this whole bridge building process.
Not really. There's like some most of the wood of the bridge got swept downriver after it got knocked out.
And there aren't
We can't-
exactly
we can't see it from
trees
here.
sitting around to build a
Alright,
from.
well, I mean, I'm not a man of thought, so I've got a rope to guide myself across. It's very secure on this end. I'm going to cross it over.
You want to roll me a stealth check for the heck of it? I'm assuming you're not trying to get the attention of the
Oh,
crocodile.
goodness no.
I don't
I mean,
suppose...
it's flowing
So we
pretty
send the
fast.
wolves over.
It's a good thing I'm dexterous. 15.
You move as softly as you can to not disturb the water too much. And you manage to make it across.
Alright.
You manage to make it across.
I'm going to secure this rope firmly to the other end. Tying it, not just and recover my javelin.
Alright.
So we're expecting our mounts to swim without us.
I mean,
Or-
they could swim carrying you, but that'd be difficult. That'd make them slower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to get over there.
Yeah, if you guys are like harrying the crocolisks with ranged attacks,
Like that's
the wolves and the kodo could probably.
that's my plan. Is I pull a javelin out and I'm going to ready in action to hurl it at any crocolis that pop out of the water and start harrying.
Okay, I'm
My
sending over
allies.
the.
You could probably just cross hand over hand. Like you're not even
Yeah,
big
yeah,
enough.
I could probably get over the rope, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and try that after seeing him go across. I'm gonna
Alright, roll me a climb check.
climbing.
Because I feel like that's the using a rope to get across things check.
Yeah, I mean it's strength based and it's strength.
Endurance and strength. 19. All right.
Alright. Yeah, you just kind of, like, one hand over the other, just across the length of the
Probably
circle. Like
pull yourself up here and so you're holding yourself up by your knees and just use the hands to pull you across.
Yeah, it's like, you're dangling dangerously close to the water because of the amount of weight you apply to the rope, but you're not touching the water, so you know you're not in any real odds of getting spotted.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So that puts me across.
Yep. You make your way across.
And ready a crossbow to hit anything that jumps out of the water.
Hey Brick, you saw the things last night. Go ahead and roll me a listen check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You hear the two things. You hear the braying chirp noise that the things that you know as plane striders make. They are the very large, like almost. They're like prettier looking ostriches, kind of. And these very tall birds, that very long necks and long legs, that sort of tend to roam the plains and the barrens. You hear one of them on this side of the river, which is the wrong side of the river for them, being attacked by what sounds like a raptor. I can't make the raptor noises. Something like that.
That was not it. Hold on. I used to be really good at this. Oh. Never mind. I've lost my raptor. I'll have to recover it before next week.
Alright, I will try to, I guess, spot it and see where...
You look around and you can hear it. There's a rock outcropping that kind of separates. It sort of like forms like a little bit of a hill that kind of separates line of sight. But you can hear it on the other side.
They've been extinct for a long time.
I choose to think they sound like angry cats.
Alright.
They seem like the cats of the dinosaur world to me.
Alright, did any of you hear that?
Did any
Nope.
of us hear
I
that?
didn't hear that. What was it?
None of them can match your keen Tauren hearing.
It sounded like a raptor and a, what's it, plane?
Plane strider.
Plane strider.
Get into a scrap. Go find them, kill them, throw them in the water to distract the crocolisks.
Where was it?
Yeah, it sounded like it was coming around it was a rocky area?
Yeah, just like there's like a rocky like hill that they look on the other side of. Seem to be on the other side of.
Alright.
Well, let's get across this river and investigate.
Is it, is it across the river? Or?
It's across. It's on this side of the river.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's behind you somewhere.
Yep.
It's coming from inside the house.
The call is coming from inside the house.
So what are you intending to do about it?
I'm going to go investigate.
How far would I...
How
Sure,
far?
I guess I'll follow.
Yeah.
If he's investigating.
I kind of motion...
I see that. Yeah, if I see them walking up the stream, I'm going to follow on the other side of the stream.
Are you the only one on that side right now?
No,
I'm over here too.
You're okay. You're over there.
Right.
Which side of the stream is it on?
It's on ours.
The original one.
Okay.
Where we were started.
Split the party!
Why don't we just get across the river? I just motion everybody to come across.
Because the DM set a plot hook down.
Also
I'm
because,
taking it.
you know, we're seeing if someone could be in distress.
I see.
It's the lawful good thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Shiana's gonna go across to the other side.
She suddenly lost interest.
There could be a fight.
Shiana's gonna go across to the other side.
All right. Well, what you guys see as you round this rocky outcropping, you spot a raptor. Can someone hand me the Horde Player's Guide, by the way? You spot a pair of red-scaled
Dangerous.
raptors tearing into a group of these plane striders, sort of harrying them and ripping them to shreds, basically, as they they have found some new food that wasn't normally around.
All right. So that means
The Plain Striders are a variant of Tall Strider, which are a general species. These are the plain variants, but they're putting up a fight. But the pair of these raptors are basically ripping them open.
So,
wait. So
are these creatures just random wild animals running around?
Yeah, raptors are native. Like some raptors are native to Durotar. They live around here. The Tall Striders are supposed to be on the other side of the river.
Yeah. So that means they got to cross somehow.
What he's saying is the Tall Striders can get over here.
Yeah, they got stuck on the wrong side. Well,
so that
I mean, that's kind of how nature goes. So
nothing we need to do here, but so let's leave them to that.
I mean, it's just a bunch of wild animals fighting.
Make me an intelligence check.
Make me an intelligence check.
Who?
So
both of us?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's only a 10.
I'm seeing this from the other side of the river, so
21.
my intelligence may not be good, but I did roll a natural 20.
The two of you realize at the same time that nothing distracts a predator like a crocolisk like raw meat.
right.
I mean,
Like I said, kill them, throw them in the water so that your mounts can get across.
Right.
Is there anything on this side of the river to kill?
I mean, not nearby.
Just you and me.
I'm over there now.
I'm going to go back over to the. I suppose we can go back over to the river. How long would it take me to go back over to the river, cross over, and go over to where the things are?
Probably about 10 minutes. To go
Take
quietly
time.
and not draw attention.
Okay.
You can just kind of climb over.
Way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could get long.
Just throw a javelin from where you're at. Maybe come to you.
That one can that reach that far?
Yeah. No.
60 feet. Well,
I get a -2, but I can reach.
Well, that's like more like 80 to 90 because
That's a
of how-
-4,
Okay.
because they're
but
away
it
from that.
technically can reach.
I got an 80-foot range.
Hit the raptors. Draw them to you.
The raptors are my friends, sir.
These are not tame ones. These are
No.
wild ones.
Exactly. That's what makes them my friends.
Well, yes.
The long striders are just going to run away.
I'm just waiting for them to come over.
Yeah, I'm on this side of the river.
So what are you gonna do?
Can you kill the rat?
Well,
I kind of don't want to get into a fight with raptors, really.
Decision making. Decision.
The raptors are in a fight with the Tall Striders, so
Yeah.
there's like one. There's one of these. There's two raptors taking down about 4 Tall Striders, and there's 2 left standing right now. One of the Tall Striders kind of like lashes out with its beak at one of the raptors and rakes with both of its claws, and then the raptor lunges at it and then just pounces on it and proceeds to tear it
knowing
down.
the way that raptors go at their food, is there likely to be leftover meat when these
Yeah.
raptors are done?
Probably not.
Probably.
If they're left to eat these things, there won't be much meat left at all.
How busy do they look currently on their battle? Like, are these Tall Striders actually putting up a fight?
Yes.
They are? We could probably just take one of the one that's already been taken down and
are the Tall
try to
Striders
get away with that.
known to attack anything that's not attacking them?
I mean,
Tall Striders are known to be pack hunters, but they're pack hunters, not pack. Like they don't attack things that they're not going to eat, and they're not anywhere near as ravenous as raptors tend to be.
yeah. Let's just try to take one of the fallen ones that's sort of farther away from the general fight.
Sneak in, slip away with the corpse, and hope that no one stops you.
I mean, pretty much.
I mean, the raptors have also been injured by fighting 4
Yeah.
of these guys.
So- That sounds like a plan, but I can't really drag a body terribly well. But
I would be able to, but
hey,
so stealth in and try to get some.
roll me stealth.
Hold on. Alright.
What did you do?
I feel bad for you.
I mean, that was a 9, so
It's a 13.
Myself.
And this is when the party dies to raptors.
14.
Yeah, no, the raptors are in the middle of fighting these tall striders, but they notice when you're starting to take their food that they just work so hard to kill. So one of them turns and begins to run towards you. So we can roll some initiative.
Roll. The two of you that are still over there.
I mean, I can hurl javelins from a distance.
You said they're about 80 or 90 feet?
From the edge of the river. From the edge of the river, yeah.
Okay.
9.
13.
My crossbow is a range of 80.
Well, that was the last we ever heard of Leaf and Brick.
You get a -2 for firing at up to 1 range increment pass. So you can get a -2 and you can shoot up to 160 feet.
I mean, I can take a few pot shots. Anyway.
Honestly, even with a -2, my range attacks are better than my melee attacks. Trolls.
They like to throw things.
They do like to throw things.
That's why I have a troll axe thrower
All right.
in the wings.
Anybody 20 or above?
It throws great axes.
Nobody 20 or above? 10 to 15 to 20?
Or are we all rolling initiative?
If you want to take part in
You're on
this
the other
fight.
side of the
Did you
river.
cross
I
yet?
do
can't.
anything
I've
from
already
over there.
crossed. I can't do anything.
I got a 13.
I just want to cross back.
I mean, I have thrown darts.
What'd you get?
9.
9.
You have nowhere near the range.
Leaf.
Okay.
What'd you get?
13.
13.
11.
11. Wow. Raptors are going before all of you.
Raptors eat Leaf and Brick, and then
All right,
problem
you
solved.
had
13.
13. You also had 13.
I got the better initiative.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that goes Josh, Leaf,
It's just 2 fights you guys have
Gang.
had without me.
and Brick. All right. Well, one raptor is going after you, Brick. And they have pounce. So
One raptor getting bricked.
that will be a 23 to hit you.
That is.
It does 47 damage.
They do a decent amount of damage. It's more that they get a lot of attacks.
You take 10 points of slashing damage from its talons as it rakes across, as it lunges at you and leaps into the air and leads with its hind legs, with the talons raking down at you,
Yeah.
and then rakes down with the foreclaws as well for 2 more attacks. That's going to be a 14 to hit,
Yeah, that is.
just barely, and a 12 to hit.
That misses.
All right, so one of the foreclaws catches you. The foreclaw deals.
4 claws FOR,
3.
not 4 claws is the number 4.
The foreclaws deals 3 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
1 4 claw. Wait, what?
The second one is going to keep trying to murder one of these 2 remaining tall striders. Is going to hit, miss, and miss. So going to hit with the talons, but not with either of the foreclaws. Yeah. And that brings us to Josh. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just gonna shoot a shot across and try to hit one of those things. I don't even think it got over the river.
Shoot straight into the water, hit a crocodile by accident.
Aggro the crocodile in the water.
Oh no. It wasn't a 1.
No, it was a 3.
Alright. See, miss. That
I'm
brings
wasting my
us.
bolts, however.
Leaf.
That's important.
Cool. I want to make a will save.
Sure. For what?
Sleep.
Okay.
Ah.
What's the DC?
That's
First level spell?
yeah.
First level spell plus
That'd be
your
1
caster
plus-
modifier plus 10.
Yeah.
Are you casting it as a second level caster?
Yeah.
No, it's a first level spell.
Yeah, it's a first
Oh,
level
sorry.
spell. Yeah. No.
It's
So-
a spellable spell, not level.
So that'd be 13.
Well, that's a 7.
Sweet.
So the raptor that is on Brick falls asleep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, let's get out of here.
Grab meat and go.
Jangatal.
I mean, it's asleep, so.
Yeah,
Good
but
one.
the other raptor is still
Yeah.
an issue, right?
Yes.
Sure, let's hug a stick. Stick hucking achieved. 16 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage. already injured, but it's not that injured. Which then brings Brick. What are you doing?
Grabbing the meat and getting out of there.
All right, roll me a strength check.
The meat, as in the raptor? No, wait, the raptors.
It's like the sleeping one.
The meat. No, it'll wake up.
He'll wake up real quick.
Grab and shot put the raptor into the river.
Luckily, noise doesn't awaken creatures in magical sleep.
They have to be jostled.
Yeah.
That is.
I think that would indeed
Just
count as
strength?
quite a jostling.
Yeah, just
19.
19?
And
All right, yeah.
in midair. Then.
You grab one of the tall striders and just hurl it over your shoulder and turn, and I'm assuming book it.
Book it.
Yeah. Which then leaves us to the tall striders. The two remaining are going to...
I presume the tall striders and raptors just keep fighting it out and we leave.
Yeah, see if they do enough to actually keep the tall striders' attention. Looks like they're both going to. They might actually kill the They might actually bring the one raptor down without its companion. Because all 4 of those attacks hit.
However this plays out, it is no longer our problem.
Yep.
Yeah, no, the raptor isn't dead, but it's got bigger problems than the group of you. So, yeah, you guys book it with the corpse of the tall strider.
And that's 5 hit points back.
Thank you. I was down to 1.
Ooh.
In that case, that's another 7 back.
So it was how much?
5 and then 7, so
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Alright, so
what do you intend to do with this corpse?
find a good spot to lure the what do you call them?
The crocodile.
Throw it to the river
Down
and cross.
Yeah.
Alright, so you toss it in the water, roughly where you want to go, knowing that it'll get swept a little bit ways downriver by the current before it hits the ground, or hits the bottom.
Right.
And
wait for a good. For
you
once they-
almost immediately see ripples in the water as like 4 different individual shapes all move downriver towards where that was left.
charge.
Alright, time to get across.
And so you
And with mounts.
you all get the mounts across and yourselves across, and as you cross the river, you are faced with the large open plains of the Barrens, with their yellow grass that grows generally as far as the eye can see. And that's where we're going to end for the evening.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.
Goodbye.